my name's Elisa Jordana, and I am on the show today playing a few songs. And also, I'm here because I'm a very good friend of Benjy. And he brought me here. I don't really know why, but I'm looking forward to talking about our relationship.
Now, I've heard through several conversations that this is a very complicated relationship. Well, from your end, it's not so complicated, but as always with Benjy, it's very complicated because he really adores you. Yeah,
he's an adorable person. I don't think it's actually that complicated. It's just we hang out. We're like best friends. We're like actually boyfriend and girlfriend without the sex. That's the only difference between a boyfriend and girlfriend and us.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing Howard's take on all this.
Me too.
All right. Good luck today, Elisa.
Thank you.
You want to talk about her now? She was the guitarist in Cobra Starship from 2005 to 2007. She was kicked out of the band, basically.
What was she, the guitarist? Oh,
guitarist. It's like a guitar with a keyboard on it.
Oh.
Isn't that the thing that, like, wait a second, isn't that the thing that Randy used to play in Journey? Like that big
Oh, that's funny. Just a few other things that are funny. So they met on 𝙤𝙬𝙬𝙧𝙙. She doesn't want to have sex with Benjy. She doesn't like to be touched sexually. Doesn't have any sex drive, according to Benjy. She's been single for a long time. She said she's physically attracted to celebrities who look like Bradley Cooper and James Franco.
That's Benjy.
Sounds like she hung out with.
Naturally.
This is a conversation for Benjy. Maybe not here, but down the line. I would love to know one day how far his net is cast. So we know he goes on 𝙤𝙬𝙬. We know he goes on Craigslist. But I wonder, Facebook. Is he on weird? Is he on sites like Indian dating, where it's he could be on anything? I would love to know how far the net is cast of where he goes to fuck women.
Has anyone ever seen his 𝙤𝙬𝙬 profile?
No.
I'd love to know the picture he puts up and what he writes on there. That's
if he uses his real name.
Yeah.
Beautiful eyes.
Yeah.
Benjy, started telling me about this girl he met, and I didn't know you met her on 𝙤𝙬𝙬𝙬.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean he met her on 𝙤𝙬𝙬𝙬?
Well, Benjy's got this web that, I don't even know how far the web extends. I wish he'd be honest and tell me, because, he's on all of these internet sites. I know he's on 𝙤𝙬𝙬𝙬. I know he's on Craigslist.
Craigslist.
Used to be.
You're not on Craigslist anymore?
Nah, just...
On all these lists, on 𝙤𝙬𝙬𝙬, are you Benjy Bronk, or are you someone else?
you use a screen name. So
right.
On 𝙤𝙬𝙬𝙬, I'm Benjamin.
Benjamin, okay.
Yeah.
So, he's what other can we ask what other websites are
Honestly,
you on?
it's just 𝙤𝙬𝙬𝙬 and Facebook, and that's pretty much it now.
Where
Twitter.
do you meet most of your women? Twitter?
I haven't really. I guess 𝙤𝙬𝙬 in recent times, or Facebook.
So Benjy meets this girl, and it turns out he's been working her for weeks. And in fact, the way we found out about her, Benjy did a stunt the other day. He was walking down the street. Yeah, bring her in, Gary. This is Elisa Jordana. He was walking with her through the streets. Come on in. Is it Alyssa or Elisa?
Elisa.
Elisa. Hi, Elisa. Come on in.
Hi there.
Hi.
This is the greatest story ever. I'm still doing the setup, but help me with it.
Okay.
So the other day, Benjy was walking down the street with Elisa, and he wanted to impress her, so he did his stunt in front of the CNN cameras where he got on CNN.
Right.
And he's so in love with Elisa. He even said to me, I don't know what it is with her. I don't know what it is with her. He's obviously completely smitten. And I said to him, well, how long has he known you, Elisa? He met you on 𝙤𝙬𝙬𝙬.
Right. We spoke on 𝙤𝙬𝙬𝙬 a few years ago.
Right.
But I was in LA at the time.
You were in a band, right?
I was, yes.
And the band has gone on to great success.
Yes.
Are you the Pete Best of that band? What is the name of that band?
I am, actually, exactly.
Yeah. What is the name of that band?
Cobra Starship.
Cobra Starship. They've had a couple of hits on Sirius Hits 1 and all that kind of thing.
All the big radio stations.
What is their hit?
What happened?
A few. They've had a lot of hits. Snakes on a Plane. That was when I was in the band.
Right.
And then they had Good Girls Gone Bad. And now they have, I don't even know the name of the new song, but it's actually a bigger hit than the other ones.
Right.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, she was in the band, and then they broke big.
Yeah.
But they kicked you out of the band because you used to bring people on the tour bus all the time, and they were weirdos, and they were stealing things, and they blamed you?
Well, when I was on tour for a long time, I was very bored. You know, I wanted to meet new people, and all these fans, they would like hang out outside the bus, and you know, they'd want to hang out with me, and I was very flattered by that.
Sure.
And you know, it was my first band, and it was just very fun. So I invited like all these kids that were like 15, 16 on the bus, and I was having so much fun with them. We'd have dance parties, and we'd be dancing to my music. That's very flattering, you know.
Right.
And so you know, they'd come on the bus, and then one time they stole like all the band's iPods.
Ooh.
And then
kids.
you know, everybody was very upset with me after that. So
Right. So they fired you.
yeah, I mean, that was not the only reason, but that was basically.
Were you the lead singer?
I played a keytar, which is like a keyboard that you hold like a guitar.
Right. I've seen that.
And so I played that, and I sang backup, and it was very fun.
Right. And so do you sit there and go, oh, my God, I'd be a huge success right now. I'd make tons of money, the whole thing. It's got to be driving you crazy.
It is not good, you know, to think
Right.
about. But, I mean, I can't really complain too much because it opened a lot of doors for me.
But can I be honest with you? I feel your pain in that instance. I mean, you know, you put in time with a band and everything, then you see him go on to great success. I can't imagine the pain that was Pete Best's life.
I think about him all the time, actually, because
Right, yeah.
I really relate to that, you know.
Of course.
And also, it's like really bad because I don't know, it was my idea to use the keytar, and like then this new girl, like they replaced me without telling me.
Right.
And I found out online. I looked at like a pictures from a party on Wire Image, and then it said, you know, Cobra Starship, and then it wasn't me. It was somebody else that looked just like me.
Right.
You know, and then I got a text from the tour manager saying, you know, does Elisa know she was replaced? And I'm like, you know, you just texted me that. So that's how I found out.
You think about your life. You were in Cobra, and now you're with Benjy. It's a
I
real.
know.
I don't know if things are going the right way.
I'm as big as a starship.
From Cobra Starship to Benjy. It's quite a
Benji
fall.
Starship, you know, it's pretty good.
Cobra Benjy. So anyway, you got to hear this because I became fascinated with this story. So Benjy says to me, "Oh my God, I'm in love with this Elisa." Now the love goes like he's totally taken with you. What did Benjy describe in your words? What it is about Elisa that? And maybe it's embarrassing to do in front of her. But you're totally taken with her.
I don't think she's a perfect person, but to me, you don't like that?
I mean, that's what you have to say first. I mean.
Right.
Okay.
And this is all. What else I don't like it now? She's when I'm around her, I'm just so happy, and I have so much fun. And this is someone I've always said, like, I can't get married and be monogamous.
Right.
And this is someone, and it might not end up being with her, but it's like, wow, this is
gives you
someone.
hope that
this is someone I could spend my whole life with, and every day be happy and look forward to being with her.
Like you're in love. You're in love with her.
I'm not in love in a commitment kind of way because we haven't dated. But
and poor Elisa's saying to herself, why can't this guy just be a little hotter?
Or Tommy Mottola.
She does. She gets. I think she, like, deep down.
Do you think you're going to wear her down?
No, it's not.
Let me tell you how in love he is with her. He was so nervous. Doug was telling me this. Doug Goodstein from
Howard TV.
Howard TV. He said when Elisa was in the green room, Benjy went running out. He came in this morning. He was covered in orange juice and things. He had juice. He says, as soon as Elisa gets here, give her this. Like he.
Oh, he had stuff for her.
Like stuff for her. Elisa, is it dangerous that you might end up taking advantage of the fact that he's so into you?
I don't want to take advantage of him.
Right.
I see that he's such a great person, you know, just like towards everybody, not just me.
But can you help it?
Can I help it?
Have you said to yourself, why can't I be attracted to this guy?
I actually get sad sometimes. Like once in a while, we'll be like at the dinner or something. The other night, we went to this like kind of a romantic dinner.
Right.
And I got so sad because there's like these people next to us. They're on a date, and we're like having so much more fun than them.
Right.
You know, and I'm.
But you're not going back to your room and going to bed.
Actually, we slept in the same bed last night.
Well, yeah. Now Benjy says he was very nervous about he's more nervous about your appearance than you are.
He's
today.
making me very nervous. Actually.
Yeah, right. He is, right?
I'm sorry.
Because he was like, I have to be with you the night before the appearance.
No, she told me that.
I want to make sure that you get to bed early.
Wait, no. Oh, no. She wanted me to stay with her last night. She wanted me to stay with her last night.
You did?
I mean, I like being around Benjy. You know, I really do.
Let's put it this way: is there any chance he could ever? That you could imagine a scenario where you fuck him?
It's it's like hard to say, you know. It really is because
It could happen.
you never know. I was friends with a guy for 3 years. We didn't do anything, and then at the end of 3 years, then we hooked up. You know, so you just never know. He's been growing on me. I mean,
He has? Like a fungi?
maybe.
not like a sexual way, but like, you know, in a friend.
I just be getting fatter.
Right.
No, he's been going to the gym, and he actually grew his beard and his mustache. And
He's doing whatever he can to be attractive to you.
Yeah, he
Do you
definitely
like a
will.
guy with a little facial hair?
I love it.
You love it.
I love it.
You see?
So he's growing facial
Oh,
hair.
he is. Oh, there it is.
He's beautiful right now. He has this new outfit. He looks.
Yeah.
But it's
stunning.
just you've described you're attracted to a guy who looks a little bit like the famous movie actor. I'm trying to think of the name.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
Oh God.
Right.
That is like the opposite of Benjy.
All right.
I think they both have blue eyes, actually. So.
Well, you're a very good-looking woman. I can see why
Thanks,
Benji's attracted to you.
But
I
it's
mean,
not just looks. She's so, I don't know.
What is it?
She just has such a happy. Well, she's not super happy. She's actually very. She has a lot of.
She's
she
dark.
gets worried, huh?
Is she dark?
No, she's not dark. She's not. She's like a real caring, sweet person. But she's just. It's so fun to be around her. She's so alive.
Here's what Benjy said. One of the most amazing, beautiful spirits I have met in my life.
Spirit.
Whenever I'm around her, I'm so happy. Except when I get really sad that she's not into me.
That's like the kind of thing that makes me real sad. You know?
I kind of love everything about her. I even really like her mom. I've talked to her mom on the phone.
Wow, he's even getting into the family.
She's
Hey,
exactly the woman I've always dreamed of, except that she's not into me. I know I'm not her type, and I know I'm not good looking, but I also think that she loves me, but not romantically, and I think a part of her gets very sad that she's not into me that way. Whenever we are both home, we are almost always on Skype. She gets upset when I want to hang up and tells me to just leave it on while I sleep. But I love being connected to her that way, too. So you keep your computer on with Benjy?
I do.
So what the fuck? I mean, maybe you're into him. What's going on?
Can
Talk,
you
be
be
honest.
into a person, you know, just like mentally and emotionally and not physically? I feel like that's what's going on.
Right. I mean, he's gross.
It's like he's a girlfriend.
I look at him and I like imagine. I like try to like imagine like,
Him fucking?
I do. I try to like because he like tells me stories of that he's good at certain things.
Eating out women. I've seen him do
He
it.
said he's very good. You seen him do it?
I've seen him do it.
Well, we've seen him demonstrate.
Yeah.
okay.
I have this cookie wrapper.
Yeah. I've seen him. I've seen him go to town on a woman. Yeah, a long time ago.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. He's real good on going. So he keeps describing that he could please you in ways you've never been pleased before.
Right, but every guy says that. That's the thing.
Of course, and
They all say the
also
same thing.
the guy. You have to be attracted to the guy to get off.
I know.
Well, that's what
Oh.
I'm telling her. A girl, that's not important for her. A girl to be attracted to the guy.
Sure, it is.
It doesn't matter in the
Something
long run.
about a guy has to turn a woman on in order for her to orgasm.
Well, I'm trying to convince her it doesn't.
Well, yeah, this is a new theory Benji's trying to promote.
Now, you did something I think was sort of nice. You tried to say to Benjy that you're asexual, that you don't have sex with people, but that's not the case, is it at all? Let's be honest.
I mean, I don't like have sex for sport. Like, I don't go out to a club and be like, oh, I really want to get some tonight. Let me see how I can make that happen.
Right.
I have to like love the person and want a relationship with them.
Right.
And Benjy, like, as soon as we start talking, he like talks about sex like right away. And he's like, do you masturbate? Like, it's like that's not. I don't want to talk about
Well,
that.
because
I'd rather be asexual than talk about.
No, the reason
Excuse me, do you masturbate?
So in other words, he's creepy.
How big are your dildos?
The reason she did bring up early on, like, well, I'm not even into, like that kind of like being physical, and I found that fascinating.
Right.
And
listen to me. If she was into a guy, if Bradley Cooper walked in, she'd be so sexual right now. It wouldn't even be funny.
Aw.
And meanwhile, Doug said when he walked into the green room to see Benjy with Elisa, Elisa, he said it's so uncomfortable. Benjy gazes at her like you feel like he's raping her with his eyes.
It's uncomfortable in front of all you guys and stuff, but we have.
He said that you go
No,
into a
they're
trance.
looking at you.
Right. I know. I am nervous today because I know I want her to do so well, and I want her to have a fun time, and I want you guys to see. I know it's there, and I want the world to see that.
You feel that she's Billy Joel.
Well, not that. I told her she got mad about that. Not that Billy Joel.
And
not
I'm
that
Christy
Billy Joel.
Which Billy Joel?
Do you find him correcting himself a lot, like because a lot of things he says are ridiculous?
I just think the Billy Joel thing. I don't want people to be listening for that.
What I meant was like she really has. She's not just
You
like.
are in love, my man.
She's not like a voice tracker or whatever it's called. Like the.
You know what's funny about you?
She's a classically trained pianist.
If she started fucking you, Well, how soon would
All
you
of
get
this
bored?
would go away.
I said the same exact thing.
I don't think
Same
so.
exact thing, yeah.
Listen, I don't know, but I know I
You would settle down with her.
Would I get married tomorrow? No, but
Okay.
maybe next Monday. Yeah.
All right. You're really in love. Are you in love?
Not in a commitment way.
Are you in love?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love her. I love her who she is. I love her.
How long are you going to keep this up if she's not going to have sex with you?
Does he know?
I told her I have a 60-year plan.
No, come on. Seriously. How? Because I know you.
I don't know. Sometimes
you will nag her forever.
No, I don't know. Like,
have you had sex with other women while you've known Elisa? In the sense that, like,
since we've met each other, yes.
You have, because she's just not going to give you any. Have you kissed her?
No.
Are you ever going to kiss him even, or would you throw up in his mouth, or in your own mouth?
It's really hard to tell right now.
There's no way you'd want to kiss him. I don't blame you. I mean, I think Benji's a great guy.
You do?
But yeah, but
So
I mean,
is Benjy just someone who's taking up the space until you find someone you really want to be with?
yes.
Like, you're going to drop him like a hot potato if you find a guy you really like you're into. You won't be Skyping him and keeping the line open. You won't have time for him.
But the truth is, like, nobody would be a better boyfriend than Benjy. Like, he's the best.
I
Like, he does so
understand
many nice
that,
things.
but you don't have a boyfriend right now.
I know, yeah.
But
So
Robin,
the
I
moment
think
you get one, he's going to be in the way.
Are you seeing anybody?
No, just Benjy.
Just Benji.
I think she's more worried about me dropping her.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because maybe I won't keep up with it. Like, part of me, because I do get so sad sometimes.
Right.
Like when I get sad about it, it's horrible.
How long have you two known each other now? 3 years?
We didn't really. I don't remember. Like, we met this summer.
Right. What happened? You contacted her on J-Date.
We can't. Yeah.
You were taken with her picture, I'm sure.
No, actually, her profile was really funny.
Okay.
And that's. I mean, yeah, I know she's super hot, but it's her personality.
So how did you wear her down even to have her meet you?
I don't.
Did you throw in the Howard Stern show stuff, or I mean, how'd you finally get her to meet you?
We pretty quickly just said we were going to meet for dinner.
Right. And so when you met him, were you like, oh shit?
Did you see a picture of
My
him
pictures
first?
are very good.
No, his picture is amazing. It's
That's a
really
problem.
good.
You were attracted to his
He's got
picture.
a nice hat on.
Right. He looked kind of cool.
He did look cool in the he has great pictures. No, but you know, he was
Could you just be your picture, Benjy?
Why don't you tape that picture over your head?
no, when we met, I mean, it was kind of nice. He was so nervous. He was like so sweaty and like red. Like it was
Oh, he's
so cute.
red.
It was adorable. How can you not love him?
I've seen that sweaty red look.
Yeah.
There's nothing adorable
We've seen it for
about
a
it.
long time.
I don't know.
So when you met him, you saw how sweaty and red he was,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you thought it was cute,
I did. I thought it was adorable.
but you weren't attracted to him.
No.
Right. See, I told him. He sweats like a motherfucker. He's red all the time. I don't know if that's, what's that called? Euthanasia or whatever it's called?
Echinacea?
I don't
No,
know.
what? Euthanasia?
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
What
Psoriasis.
Psoriasis.
But I'm good today. I'm pretty
No,
good.
you're pretty calm today.
Yeah.
You're not that red.
Yeah.
But and so Benjy prepared you for today's performance. He
Right.
was very nervous about it. He was making you nervous.
Yeah.
And he said, you got to get to sleep. So he put you on Ambien last night. Is that correct?
Well, we were at dinner the other night, and he mentioned that I might need an Ambien to wake up early today.
Right.
And I actually, when we were at dinner, I had a date after the dinner.
Wow.
And then I was thinking, like, I don't know. Then I planned the date next door to where we were eating.
Right.
So Benjy said he didn't know how long it would take to kick in the Ambien. So he took an Ambien, I took an Ambien.
Right.
Before your date?
Before my date. And then I said, Benjy, I'm really scared. I'm going to fall asleep on this date. Make sure nothing happens
Oh,
to me.
he didn't want you on the date.
Yeah, so he came
No,
on the
that's
date.
not why.
Oh, dude.
No, I didn't know she had a
Gave
date.
her an Ambien before the date?
No, I didn't know she had a date.
So what happened when you went on the date? You must have been exhausted.
Well, I was on the date, and then Benjy was like two tables down. Like,
Watching the date?
God.
No, wait. She asked me to
my
come.
God.
Wait,
Why would you go on her date?
No, he was
she
great.
begged me to come because she was scared to go.
Why would you go?
Because
I
okay.
asked him to, though.
So was the guy a nice guy that you went on the
I
date?
don't remember, because I don't even remember what happened.
Right,
'cause I was
she's on
falling asleep.
Ambien.
And I look in the corner, and there's Benjy, and his head's down, he's sleeping. And then I don't even know what happened to my date. Then I go over to Benjy.
I think Benjy, here's how Benjy had it in his head, because I'm a dude. Ambien can get you a little bit horny.
No, Howard.
That's
I
what
think,
happened to me.
yeah, I think he figured you go on Ambien.
He's
Since
trying to drug her to get sex?
Well, not drug her, but yeah, okay, drug her. Like I've done that with
After a
Quaaludes with
week,
girls.
I
when I was
mean,
in
people do
college.
it with alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, I
Howard,
think he was
I
hoping
swear-
to loosen her up a
no,
little, and then she
no.
wouldn't know
Well,
what she
it
was
did,
doing.
because apparently I told him I wanted to hook up with him that night.
But I didn't try anything.
No.
Because we fell asleep together at the bar. And she was looking at me, and she was like turning her head back and forth. She was like, maybe I could hook up with you.
I told you
that got me back on waking up. But I was like, I didn't. Of course I didn't do anything. But she's asked me. She was worried about getting up in time.
Right. Well, I'm here's.
So
can I
you
be
give
honest?
a person an Ambien.
Well, I told her not to take it. I said for me it might take like 2 hours for effect. For her it might take like 15 minutes. I said to wait till you get home.
So you took the Ambien. You fell asleep during your date.
Right.
And that's it. So now you missed out on the date. The guy probably thought you were weird. Plus
Definitely.
you were
He never
with
called me.
Yeah, and you were with Benjy.
Right. You got a
I don't think he saw
stalker.
Benjy.
Right. Benjy, I'm picking up the vibe that, she thinks you're a fun guy and everything, the way that she thinks some of her girlfriends are fun. But I think you're wasting your time here in terms of a romantic relationship, honestly.
I get what you're saying. If like my only goal is like it has to be her, but every time whenever I'm with her, I love being around her.
Right.
So that it's. I mean, I know it sounds real gay, but it's a joy to be around her.
And I mean, you've done everything to impress her. You've even gotten her on the show. I mean, let's face it. I mean, if that doesn't work in terms of getting in her pants, or at least even feeling her up and making out with her, it's never going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
We've even sort of jokingly, but sort of seriously talked about like, hey, we should move in together, get a bed with like a wall. And honestly, she would get married to me if it was like a non-sexual marriage.
Great for you. Oh, that's what you want to be in, a non-sexual marriage.
Well, soul-wise and brain-wise, I'm happy.
I mean, she's real pretty. Certainly the prettiest girl you'd ever date.
I've dated a lot of pretty girls.
Pretty girls before.
No,
We've seen other girls.
But not,
Howard, every
not
time
as good as this, though.
All right.
That blonde was pretty cute.
Yeah, she was
and
real
Sheila
cute.
And Tracy.
Sheila was cute. But this one's a prize. And she was in a band that almost made, that made it without her, but she was in it.
Well, let me hear some of this music, because he also says that she's so incredibly talented that the world should know her.
Yes. And leave out Billy Joel, but it's like Katy Perry, Lady Gaga. This girl's the next one.
Wow.
All right. I need to hear this.
Aren't you afraid by promoting her? Let's say she is the next
I thought
Lady
of
Gaga.
exactly what you're saying.
You're going to lose
She's going
her.
to blow up today.
Right.
And she's going to probably go on a tour and everything. Yeah, maybe I will, but that's not, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Oh.
I swear, every time she looks at you, it's almost like she's saying, why can't I convince myself to love this guy?
It's good lighting in here, though. He looks good right now.
He looks good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't always depend on that lighting.
Right. Can you carry that light
we could
around
get that for the apartment.
everywhere?
TV, can you light Benji's apartment so he looks like this? Hey, he doesn't look bad sitting there at his job, right?
Yeah, he looks pretty cool over there.
Well, you know what it is? A guy's always sexier at his job.
It's true.
Stare at him, stand up and look at him a little bit so that you can see. Does he look
It's a good presentation right now.
right now, right? Problem is when he gets out of that seat,
yeah.
he looks kind of fucked up.
He doesn't stay there all the time.
Yeah. You're looking, right? I see you looking, trying to be attractive.
You're trying to find
It
it.
just sucks because the guys that I think are like so hot, they're such jerks, you know?
Right.
So it's like really messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, force yourself to love him.
I'm trying.
Okay. All right, that's good. Marianne, who used to be Benji's obsession. This is another girl. Have you ever met her?
I love Marianne. Yeah,
Marianne,
she's awesome.
yeah. Hi, Marianne.
Hey, Howard. Hi, Elisa.
Hey, Marianne.
So, Benj, I love you.
Oh.
This is Marianne part 2 plus a guitar. Okay? I mean, it's not happening.
Right. Marianne, explain to him, why didn't you fuck Benji? He worked on you for years.
Okay. He is so sweet. We're like best friends now. Like we go to each other's family holidays, but that's what I wanted the whole time. But it took years to get it to the point where he could just accept it as that. But like, I'm like her. Like, I like the hot guy. I go for the bad boy. You know, if someone just automatically wants you and falls for you and you're sort of an obsession, the minute you sleep with them, that's gone.
Marianne, was there anything Benji could have done to become the bad boy, the one that you would have wanted?
Oh, God. I don't think so. He's too sweet.
Too sweet. All right. So if he even was a dickhead, but then he's got his looks to contend with, too.
I mean, did I try to do a makeover, Benj? I tried, too. Like, I tried.
She tried to do a
He
makeover
has one
on you?
right now.
You did a makeover on him?
Yeah, look at his like.
For another one of her
facial-
dates.
Yeah. He I had a date he also went on, and he had.
Oh, my God.
She wants me to be there.
What? You're sounding,
Why
you know, Richard Nixon did this with Pat, I think.
And he
where
did
he
win her.
would drive her to her date, on her date,
I'll wait
and
for
he
you.
eventually got her.
Do you want me to start driving?
Let me drive you to your date, Pat.
I'll sit here while you fuck that college stud.
I want to see Benji's heart broken.
Dude, you're this is a heartbreak.
I'm very nice to Benji.
She's being completely honest to me.
I know, but you're going on dates with her? Fucking man.
I didn't want to, but she begged me to.
Dude, look at me. If a girl ever said to me, I've been in bad situations, but no girl's ever said to me, I want you to come on a date with me.
She begged me to go.
Let me tell you, I would never get into that.
I know.
Wouldn't happen.
She begged me to go.
I got too much pride.
All right. I do too.
It's a little bit of an obsession, it is.
You're obsessed with her.
Do you think Benjy likes to get with women? He sets himself up that women he can never attain, and that's his ultimate prize?
No, that's just all.
Have you ever seen her naked?
Accidentally, not partially on Skype once.
Is it awesome?
She's beautiful. She's one of the. She's gorgeous. Yeah, of course. But I didn't see her naked. She was
what
like in
is
her
it
bra.
you tell her you would do to her when you're private? Because you've explained to her what it is you would do to her. What would you do to her?
I would try to make her super, super happy every single day.
Super wet.
Happy.
No, but sexually, what would you do?
How does that happen?
I'm not going to go into that now.
Why? You told her.
I don't know, because that's not where we're at right now.
Right? That's your thing. In other words,
I don't.
Have you ever said to her, "Listen, let me just lick you down there and see if you can get into it"?
I'm going to try that later this week.
Has he ever said that to you? Hasn't.
I don't think so.
He said it to me.
I can picture him doing that, like going, "Listen, I'm telling you, if I lick you, you'll get turned on."
Well, we made
He
it.
does say that to people.
Well,
I think he actually did say
we
that.
had a conversation like that because
Better
this is where the asexual thing comes from, and I don't believe that anymore completely. But like, Elisa is very like she's. I don't think she's. Have you ever had an orgasm with a guy?
Yes, Benji.
Oh, she told me no.
Well, of course she told you no.
It's just, I don't want to really talk about that stuff like late night over Skype. And
Oh, but I
don't want to like talk.
All right, so I didn't know, but when I believed her.
Did you jerk off to her?
No, I haven't jerked off.
You've never closed your eyes and thought about her and jerked off?
I really don't think I have.
Lying.
I'm saying I don't know why.
I'm jerking off to her now. Why aren't you?
I don't know.
All right,
I'm not. It's not. I don't know. I look at her pictures. I think she's beautiful.
Right.
And I see her and I think she's beautiful.
You used to jerk off to Marianne, didn't you?
I don't think.
Oh.
I know she's popped in my head, but I don't think. Like I've said before, like it's hard to compete with like Tube Galore and stuff. Those videos.
Right. Let's go to Carlos. You're on the air. Go ahead, Carlos in the Bronx.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Benjy, you're fucking delusional. This woman will not fuck you. She's not gonna be with you. You're a nutbag. You're treating her like you treated that other girl when she was in the studio. You was staring at her like you wanted to freaking kill her and eat her up. And
Yeah, isn't Benji's stare kind of creepy? This guy brings up a good point.
Well, that's why I was saying, could he be star 80? Like, if this girl, he stays in her life, she becomes, like I said, she becomes this regular obsession. All of a sudden, she's now with other guys, and she wants to leave Benjy alone. Is he going to lose it?
Have your parents met Benjy? Oh, your mom talked to him on the phone.
Well, he asked my mom on the phone what blood type I was because he thought I don't know.
Why would he ask that?
He really thinks I'm this one blood type.
I'm really into O negatives, and I was like, I know she's an O negative.
Was she an O negative?
Her mom was.
Her mom is.
Which is a rare thing. So she has the recessive genes for it, which I like.
Oh, my God.
I could tell she was.
Bobby, go ahead in Nashville. You're on the air.
Yeah, what's with this Marianne cock blocking? Give this guy some pussy, huh? Benjy.
What about it? Can you give him some pussy?
Give him the pony. Give him the horse cock rap. Let him horse fuck you one time.
What?
Let him horse fuck you?
Yeah, you know the tape he made with the lady in the old folks.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, listen. I don't think she's ever going to horse fuck you. I don't even think she's going to kiss you. But that's my guess, and I think she's being honest with you, and I appreciate that. I do. Now, Elisa is going to perform. Elisa Jordana is going to perform. Now, this is from your self-titled album. This song is called Fuck You, I'm Fine. There's profanity in this song. If any kids are at home, get them out of the room. What does this mean, fuck you, I'm fine?
Just basically, it's just, I wrote it so, like, girls, they think about guys, like, for a long time after you break up.
Right.
And, it just, I don't know, just like, I wrote it, and it came so naturally, and it's just really how I feel.
Right.
So, it's just a song, meaning no matter what happens to you, you're always yourself.
I see.
And, just stay strong, and don't let anything get to you.
And,
is she making her entire living from music still?
Yeah, I mean, I put songs on, like, TV shows and commercials and movies. Yeah, so I make money doing that. And, other side jobs. I've got a production company.
So you're in the music industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to take a job like selling retail or clothing or something like that. You're actually making a living as a musician.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, but Benjy needs you to hit it big time.
I know. I have so
you
much
can lead
pressure
him.
now. It's like,
I know. All right, so Benjy has instructed you. You're ready to perform now?
Yeah.
Right. He's almost like your manager over there.
He really is.
Yes. All right. Listen, do us a favor and give us a song.
Okay.
Give us Fuck You, I'm Fine. Maybe someone will hear it, and who knows, then you can find a real boyfriend and get rid of Benjy.
Oh.
Has he gone around and introduced her to any of the record people he knows?
Yeah, we know record people. Benjy, why don't you try that? Maybe then she'll be attracted to you.
No, I have.
All right, here we go. Yeah, take those off because you'll get confused otherwise. And let Scott the engineer help you. God help you.
Is that guy hot?
Are you attracted to Scott the engineer?
I've won 4 Grammys.
He's won Grammys.
A little longer, to be attracted to somebody.
Give her a microphone. Where is everybody? What is this? I can't hear her.
Scott's mesmerized now.
Yeah,
He doesn't
Scott-
remember she needs a mic to talk.
I think Scott likes you, too.
I'd like to Skype you later.
Can you Skype with Scott later after Benjy?
You can watch me
Well, I do have
sleep
that
like a
hotel room,
panda.
Yes. Go ahead. Put those headphones on so you can hear us. All right. So here is
Okay, here we
Benjy's girlfriend that he wants. We said to Benjy, bring your girl in.
Look at him. He's already giving everybody the eye.
What are you doing?
Now get ready for this.
What are you doing over there, Benjy?
She told me she wanted to be able to see me when she played.
Is that true? You want to see him?
Sure.
Sure.
That's what
She never said.
I like looking in Benji's eyes.
All right.
Okay, so.
Did you take piano lessons? Because you're good.
I did, yeah. I used to play classical piano. But it's more fun, writing your own songs. I think that's
Absolutely. I know. I've written 2 hit songs.
I can't even look at you now. You're wasting all of my time. You're wasting all of my time. I can't even think of you now. I want you out of my sight. I want you out of my sight. But I'm fine. Fuck you, I'm fine. And I'm not even sure I'm designed to share this kind of love with you, right? And I'm fine. Fuck you, I'm fine. And I'm not even sure that I like sleeping next to you all the time. 'Cause you're not even the type that I like. You're not even respecting me now. I'm just trying to have a good life. I'm just trying to have a good life. Life. You're even insulting me now. And I know you are addicted to lies. I know you are addicted to lies. But I'm fine. Fuck you, I'm fine. And I'm not even sure I'm designed to share this kind of love, with you, right? And I'm fine. Fuck you, I'm fine. And I'm not even sure that I like sleeping next to you all the time. 'Cause you're not even the type that I like.
Oh, very nice. Good job.
Thank you.
Look at Benjy. Oh, my God.
Look at him.
Look at him. Like he
See, I
performed.
told you.
He did a good job, though.
Song kind of reminds me of your situation with Benjy. It's
Wasting
like,
all my time.
I was like, why not look at Benjy when you sing this song?
Get out of
You're
my
not
life.
even my type. I mean,
No,
really.
but that just shows that I went out with somebody that wasn't my type and it ended up being my type, so you never know.
Right, you never know. Benjy should hang in there with you. Well, listen, it's really wonderful to meet you, Elisa. I've heard so much about
Hey,
you. till
Howard.
I'm nauseous. Yes.
Yes.
Would you want to, like, she has so many, would you want to hear like 30 seconds of another song?
Now, Benjy, look, listen. I like Elisa. I see why you like her. She's a very charming woman. But I'm going to have a talk with you.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to talk now, you want it on after she leaves or whatever.
Could she put the song over
But I'm going
it,
to
or-
spell it out for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. You're torturing yourself.
Why? Why? Well, if
She's-
he wants to do this, why not let him go?
Hey, listen.
Play out the thread.
He's a 50-something-year-old man.
50?
He can certainly
Oh,
do
my
whatever
God.
he wants.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Who?
Benjy. How old are you?
62.
40s.
I'm joking. He's in his
okay,
40s.
okay.
I'm joking. I was making a joke because he gets uptight. No, what I'm saying is, You're a big boy. You can do what you want.
Yeah.
But you're one
Yeah, I
of
mean,
these
he
guys.
can't turn this off.
You want unobtainable women, and then you think those are the ones you could marry.
That's not true.
She's unobtainable.
For
You're
you.
not getting her.
Yeah.
Listen, that's the way you, which is cool.
I could get her in 10 minutes.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
She's not for you. The only reason I can get her is because of who I am.
All right.
She's out of your league.
That's true.
Am I right or am I wrong?
She's arguing over there.
I just want to say one thing. It's not like that, you know, because
I
especially if who you are, you have to like make sure the guy really likes you, and he's, you know.
I
It's
hear
like,
you. I hear you.
Not really
You
like
ain't
that.
you're not going out with him. I'm breaking it to him.
All right.
If I was single, I'd ask you out. We'd have some. In 10 minutes, we'd be all over each other. Believe me. You know it, and I know it. Am I correct? Let's be honest. You know it, and I know it. Do you
I'm
know
into
it?
the whole like consistency thing, you know, not just like for 10 minutes.
Consistent.
For 10
I don't
minutes.
do 10 minutes. I do it. I'll give you a whole night. Are you crazy? No, listen.
Give me 90 months.
I'm a boyfriend. You understand? I'm not a womanizer. I
Right.
respect women. I see
Right.
what he sees in you.
Thank you.
You're not seeing it in him. That's all. You're being honest. I admire that. You're not leading him on. You're telling him, Benjy, I'm not into you sexually. I don't know what to tell you. Not attracted to you.
But then again, she does lead him on.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does. Spending all this time with you, Skyping all the time, all of that stuff gives you hope.
Listen, but
that's true.
We like being around each other.
You make a good point.
Sure, but she doesn't want out of it what you want out of it.
I know that, and maybe it'll get to a point where I'm like, it's not worth it. It hurts me too much. But the good feelings I feel are more than that at this point.
So you don't mind her using you?
She's not using me at all.
Yes, she is. What? Yes, she is. She's using you.
Are you using Benjy in a way? In a way.
You mean like to be my friend?
Yeah.
Or, well, I mean, I don't think that's using because I give back. I encourage him, to do things. Like I encourage him to do the CNN thing, and like, I don't know. I just.
She loved that.
I loved it. It was so fun. I love being with Benjy. He'll do anything,
Didn't you almost get killed?
Yeah, I think that was her plan.
Like I've instructed I have 3 daughters, and then they'll say to me, "What's with guys? A lot of guys, all they want to do is have sex. They don't want to be friends." And I go, "Listen, let me explain the world to you. This is the way it is. I'm your father. It's like that.
I tell girls that too.
I'm a guy. If I want a friend, I'll call Fafa Fooey. Stare at him.
A lot of the guys in the office are sort of with Robin in the sense that maybe you should just say, "Hey, Benjy, you're a good friend, but it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. I'm not Skyping with you. I'm not sleeping in bed with you. I'm not hanging out with you."
Skyping is different than sleep. I don't know.
But maybe
maybe
she genuinely likes being his friend.
Yeah, but it's too much. She's
So he should
using
stop.
him to even keep other guys at bay. She's taking him on dates. It's ridiculous what they're doing.
Well, maybe you're right.
It does give Benjy false hope, although Benjy should. The onus is on him to understand it as well.
Can't blame her.
But she should say, maybe she should say, "Never going to happen." Just so you know, never going to happen. Maybe we.
She told him.
That's why I said the asexual thing.
And
by the way,
then she gives him the little, "Oh well, maybe I saw it the other night for a second."
Isn't she even beautiful? That song sort of says, "Hey, I was with a guy I didn't like."
She's a very pretty girl. There's no question.
She's wonderful.
You're in love.
Yeah,
I get that. It's a one-way street.
Like I said, it's opened my heart to the fact that if it's not with her, I'm going to find someone that has the same.
Find that person.
Oh, Fred, it's not all
I
like
when-
I think him and Marianne are a very good couple.
I like when Benjy starts in with the sex talk with you to get you worked up and you totally are repulsed.
That was from when she gave me the impression that she never had gotten off with a guy before.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, can I just tell you one more thing about her being
tried everything.
asexual, which is really funny. Ronnie had a birthday party the other night. He was at Rick's. So Benjy brought her to Rick's, and he goes, "What'd you think of your first time at Rick's?" She goes, "Oh, this is my first time at Rick's. I'm here all the time. I know." She knew the menu.
You go to Rick's a lot?
It's a fun place. They have good food. Lobster.
Do you ever make out with the girls or anything?
No.
Once in a while for fun, like touch their titties and they touch yours?
No, not really.
What?
I don't really want
Do
that.
the girls come on to you a little bit?
I like talking to them. I mean, they're very friendly.
Do they ever try to kiss you?
They try to grab me. I mean, if they do that, that's like nothing. I'll let them do that.
Do you ever Skype with them?
No, I mean, they're not.
You ever been with a girl sexually? That's something you know.
No.
What?
Just trying to think. It might have been a long time ago.
You might have tried it. All right, so you have. So you'd rather be with a girl than Benjy?
Depends what girl.
All right, there you go. So there it is.
She's even picky with the girl.
I'll get a sex change for her.
Well, look, what am I going to tell you? I wish you luck. Elisa
Thank you.
Jordana, Her self-titled album is available now on iTunes. And for more information, you can go to ElisaJordana.com. And Elisa has a lot of information about herself there, I guess, right? How you get in contact, how you can give her a record contract, too.
My email's on there.
You wouldn't mind that.
That'd be fun.
And listen, that's it. I mean, there's a lot of people on the phone who basically want to advise Benjy. I'll let a couple of them through, and then we'll end this. Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, Benjy, you're totally wasting your time, dude. I was with a girl I did the same thing with, got with her. Was 5 years later, she's gone. Big waste of my time.
Did you have a nice time for a couple years?
Yeah, but
I got to tell you, before I was famous, I knew. Listen, I was in the same boat you were. Look at my face. You understand?
But you didn't go this way.
Robin, I'll tell you what. I always had my dignity. There were girls I liked, and there were girls I would hang around and see if something could happen.
Mm-hmm.
But if it didn't happen within 2 to 3 days.
Wow, 2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days. If there was, I could tell if a girl's into me or not. If it didn't happen, that was it. Goodbye. On to the next situation.
Take Howard's advice, Benj.
Listen.
Hey, I'm not dating. I'm dating chicks right now.
All right.
So
okay.
This is someone I love being with.
But this might keep you from having intimacy.
It might.
With other women who actually are into you.
It might. And then if
how long before she says fuck you, I'm fine. Let's be honest.
Aww.
All right. Well, Elisa, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck with the career.
Sure don't want to hear 20 seconds of another song.
Why?
It's okay, Benjy.
It's so
he's in love.
He's in love. He wants to hear you play every second.
I know.
But like 10 seconds of another song, it's so good.
You do any covers?
No, not really.
You don't like anyone else?
Sometimes.
Sometimes it's more, right.
You just got to hear 20 seconds of This Town.
Oh.
Why didn't you tell her to do This Town if that's the better song?
I don't know. I was too mesmerized.
All right, do 20 seconds of This Town.
Okay.
All right, Benji's going to have a fit. Okay. And I got to sit here with him. You don't.
He's got time bomb.
When I close my eyes in the end, I won't remember a thing. So hide your drugs, hide your dirty little sluts, unless they wanna come out and play. This town's trying to swallow me up. This town's trying to swallow me up. This town's trying to swallow me up and eat me whole. I'm gonna let it all go, and I'm gonna let it all go away. Let it all go away. Let it all go away.
Look at you.
Yeah.
You fucking
He's grinning at everybody in the room. It's like you can't even look at him while she's playing.
He's turning beat red.
Yeah.
There's that blotchiness that Elisa
That brings
talks about.
her so much closer to him.
I have a mood face.
Wow, you're in love, dude. Look at you.
Well, it's nice to see Benjy in love.
Wow, he's in love. Let him down gently. That's all I can tell you. All right, go ahead. Yeah, I know. All right, listen, Robin.
You know Howard.
Enough of Benji's
She has
love.
another song. It's kind of
Okay, stop it. Stop it already.
Enough.
Oh, man.
What do you say to him, Fred?
I say, you know what? She's a really nice gal, but Benjy, don't waste your energy. If there's someone that you want to find to share your life with, she's not the one. You can have a good time with other people, too. Do it with someone that you know there's a future with. There's no future here.
Right.
I don't think that's all about what life's about. I don't.
Well, but your life will be over before you find that person. If you keep
Maybe.
wasting your time
I don't think
chasing a dream.
I'm not wasting my time.
You are.
All right. Well, you're wasting our time. All right.
He doesn't know he's wasting his time.
Yeah, right. Leave him alone.
He'll
He's
find
fine.
out.
Fuck me, I'm fine. Fine.
Well, you know, you're very lovely. I'm glad I got to meet you. I see why Benjy's so attracted to you in all of this. But look, I'll talk. I'll make it.
You think you can talk him down?
Yeah. I'll talk him down. And everyone remember Elisa Jordana, and check her out at, what do you call it, Angels and Kings of Manhattan, November 18th, and go see Benjy there, too, sitting front row, staring at her like a mental patient.
That's a show in itself,
right.
watching Benjy watch her.
That's the video.
Good job.
Thank you. That was very fun.
How many years of piano lessons did you take?
I started when I was 4, so.
Wow. Well, you learned well.
Thank you. Thank you so
great
much
job.
for having me.
Yeah, no, it was fun. And I don't know, maybe you and Benjy will get together. We'll be at your wedding.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you for coming in, and good luck to you and Benjy.
You two make a nice couple.
Thank you, Benjy.
Bye, thank you.
No problem.
Good luck with everything. And I feel for you with that story with the band you're in.
Oh, thanks.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. It's okay.
Are they in touch with you at all or no?
I actually bumped into one of them at the Guitar Center the other day.
Yeah.
Not really.
You play guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, you're very talented. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. Couple more pictures?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I know. There's too much.
No meeting today.
Right.
Thank God.
I just remember.
That's fine. I know.
Oh, no.
What the
fuck am I thinking? I don't know.
The only thing I need a meeting for is
it this Tuesday? Hold it, I'm spaced out. How do I take a picture of you? You know what? I don't know. Oh, yeah. That was great.
Okay.
You were great. You did a great job.
Thank you.
You wearing lips?
No, I'm on my toes.
Awesome. Thank you. Let me take one more.
Oh, no,
Make sure I got one with the flashes today. We don't really
said that. It's like next week or something.
We don't really need a meeting, except at some point we do. In the next 3 weeks, we have to figure out what these sound bites are that we're going to put up. Should I put up a note and start collecting some ideas?
Yeah, that would help.
Collecting ideas.
But yeah,
Went so
because
fast.
we need some real killer ones. It really did. Stuff that you know, Richard and Sal are so good.
You're used to saying that because we're
No, you'll see it. You'll hear it.
Really?
Come here, you two.
Okay. Benjy's reassuring me right now.
Benjy has to be in the conference too.
Elisa, you were just saying Benjy's reassuring you. What are you feeling right
No,
now?
I was just like, I didn't know how it went. It went so fast, you know. I just like, I don't know what happened. It was like a blur. So Benjy's telling me I did a good job.
Incredible job.
I thought you did a great job as well. I mean, it's got to be tough as a performer to sing this early in the morning, and you came through.
Yeah, I was very nervous about it. Let me tell you about it. Now that I did that, I feel like I could do anything. So that's positive.
Now let's get in.
Almost anything.
Are you both going to heed Howard's advice? I mean, he seemed to sort of intervene and break down your relationship for you and really kind of strip away some of the misconceptions that maybe the two of you are feeling about each other.
Well, what I don't understand is why can't like a guy and a girl be friends? Like, what? Why is that not possible? I don't understand that. I have lots of guy friends that I'm close with. So.
Well, I don't think it's the fact that a guy and a girl can't be friends, but
Yeah.
I mean, Benjy's made it very apparent that he's into you as more than a friend.
Yeah, but it's room to grow. You never know.
So that window of hope is still open.
Yeah, sure.
The window's way down the hall, though.
Benjy, is that what keeps you from letting go? The fact that there's that little grain of hope?
Maybe it's a little bit, but like I said on the show, normally I have so much fun around her and I feel so happy, so that outweighs when I get sad about it.
Because Benjy, I know since you've been single in the last few years, you've dated a fair amount, and you've had.
And I'm not dating now. That's the thing.
Well, that's the thing. You've had women. I've seen women, come here just to meet you.
Really?
Well, I remember there was an artist who really liked you a few years ago. I mean, you're obviously a very talented guy.
I know people that like him.
Yeah, I mean, he's as much as they tease him in there. I mean, he's a great guy, and there are women that want him. Why can't you just, like Fred said, move on and find that woman who likes you as much as you like her, like more of a mutual love?
I'm not. It's like you guys are so quick to say, "Oh, kill that dream" and everything, or you have to, like Howard always says, "Oh, well, you're not making money at that fun hobby. Why are you doing that? You're wasting your time." I don't feel like I'm wasting my time. So if I feel like that, then I will.
But a hobby or a dream isn't reciprocal. Love is. It has to be.
Well, I actually, like I said, I think deep down she has feelings for me. Not exactly romantic, but I know she has feelings, and I know she gets sad about that she's not attracted to me. So you never know.
So give it time.
That's such a sad statement, right there. I was like,
I mean, we've been out to dinner. She gets real sad, like you know. So
it bums you out, Elisa, the fact that you're not able to love him as much as he may.
no, I love him, but
romantically.
yeah.
You hardly know him. How could you love him?
Yeah, he's a lovable guy.
we spend Ronnie, you don't know how much time we spend together.
No, but even if you meet somebody for a week, like I fall in love, but I could love somebody, you know.
I understand what you're saying, but it's not the love that he's thinking.
Right. But it could be different, you know. Some friends feel differently about each other, you know. It doesn't have to be exactly the same.
He's gonna get hurt, man. That's all I know.
I would never hurt him. That's the thing.
But you don't realize it. You are, in a way.
Oh, Ronnie.
No, you are.
Ronnie, it's not. I mean,
because you got different feelings. Don't you get it?
It's okay though.
I'm not trying to be nasty about it. I'm just telling you.
No, I know.
That you have way different feelings. I've been there. I've done this a long time ago.
But what I've said is, it's great to be open to that. To realize that you can have feelings like that.
Yeah, but you think you're gonna turn her around?
Sometimes I think that. Sometimes I think.
Well, I wish you luck, man. I wish you luck.
Thanks. But did you like her song?
She sings great.
Did you hear "Fuck You on Fire"?
Yeah, I love it.
Did you hear "This Town"?
Yeah, I heard it.
You got to hear "You're So Beautiful."
She's very good.
You're in love. It's a great one.
I'm in love.
You're in love. No, it's a great, incredible. You're in love.
I'm in love.
You're so in love.
Yeah, you're so in love. Yeah. All right. Actually, that song is very similar to our situation in a way. So. All right.
All right, you two.
Okay.
Hope everything gets figured out.
Thank you.
Kiss her goodbye.
Oh.
What? That's it?
It was incredible. Yeah. Yeah. I'll see you at the hotel later.
See you in our room.
Not
I'm gonna get it for another night, right?
All right.
Not even a kiss on the.
No, there's no kissing
Elisa,
and friends.
I mean,
Elisa.
Lisa. Yes, there's a kiss. Yeah.
A little.
One kiss in public.
cheek.
I'm gonna walk through the door.
All right. Okay. I gotta get my stuff. I gotta get all my stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
I obviously see that there are sort of confusing feelings for him. You like him mostly as a friend, obviously. They went over all of that inside. If you were to quantify the percentage of chance Benjy has, what would you put it at?
Chance for what?
For taking the relationship to a romantic level.
It's gonna be like a year. I need like a year to like figure it out. You know?
Now, in your past relationships, I know you mentioned some guys that you know maybe started out as friends. You mentioned one particular relationship where after 3 years you hooked up and all that. But in most of your past relationships,
it takes me like 6 months.
Really, you don't instantly like someone or feel an attraction to someone?
Those people I instantly like and I'm instantly attracted to, that never ends good, you know? Because then, you know, you just hook up with them right away and then they never talk to you again. So I'd rather have a Benjy-like situation where you're not as attracted to the person and then, you know, it develops over time. I'd rather that.
Would you say the lack of, you know, sexual attraction is mostly due to Benjy's looks, or is it just more of a connection thing?
If he was like my style of look, we'd be married right now.
What's your style of look?
Like, you know, like a tall, like lanky, kind of like Jewish looking with like a scruffy, you know, face, and I don't know, skinny.
Really?
Yeah.
So he just needs to grow a little bit, lose some weight, and not shave as much.
No, but I could learn to love Benjy. Just give me a year. Have me back in a year, and we'll see what happens.
All right, I'll remember this.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming by, Lisa.
No problem.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Ben, do you think that today's segment made you look at her in a different light? That, you know, with all of your friends and coworkers,
It made me a little sad. Like I did get a little sad during it, like because there is something sad about it. But you know, we'll see.
Seems like that window's still cracked open, though. It seems like you are lovable enough that she could come around.
Thanks.
But the fact that she's not instantly attracted to you, does that make you think that it might be a disingenuous thing?
No. Because I think to me, like looks are important to me, but I think that's the least important thing of the connection.
Although I have to say,
I don't necessarily see Benjy hanging out with people who are not that attractive, who might be musically talented as well, and he's not Skyping them, and he's not hanging out with them or going on dates with them.
I'm very attracted to her looks. That's no question. But what I'm saying is, I say for me, a look has to meet a certain criteria, and then once it's beyond that, it's the personality is much more important. Like, you know,
the initial attraction is based on physicality, but then once it gets
what I'm saying is it has to meet that. The threshold of looks to me is lower than the threshold of personality.
You're like Herman Cain explaining his view on abortion.
What if she comes to you and says, look, Benjy, I've been thinking about it. I do love you. I want to be in a relationship with you. Get into bed with her. She looks great and everything.
I've worried about that.
Now you have sex with her. And it's not horrible, but
it's not. I know. It's not that wild.
It's like not like. Oh, it turns out I didn't like she lets you put it in. You fuck her in 2 seconds.
I've thought of that. That's why. I mean, it's completely possible. I mean, I would, you know.
No, but it's possible that you'd be willing to put up with that because you love her.
He would. I don't know. That's hard. But I do. I always say to her, like, it's not like like I said, we joked about like, you know, we can date and not have sex, and like be married and not have sex. And I can have sex with other girls and stuff. So.
I like how you're buying into sex is not the thing. Sex is the thing.
No, it's not.
No, I'm saying what if it's sexual, but it's not great.
I'm saying he's saying sex is not the thing, but I'm saying standing over here, sex is.
But it is. But it's not the only thing with him. So I'm saying, what if the sex was not great, but it was passable?
That's interesting. Like, I don't
passable. What if it just sucked?
Well,
have you
passable.
ever given a girl that sucks?
Yeah.
Oh, it's awful.
A ton of times. You just get
as
the
long
fuck
as
out.
you fucking awful.
I don't know. Really, I like the emotional.
And what is your what?
I will tell you.
Hey now. Posing some tough questions to Benjy. You know, I said to Benjy, I said, what if this Elisa turns to you and says, okay, Benjy. I gave him a theoretical, hypothetical situation.
Okay.
Benjy is cockstrong.
I said, Benjy, let's say Elisa, for some reason, has a change of heart. She says, look, Benjy, now I feel...
This is it. I love you.
I love you and I feel sexual toward you. He goes, okay. So they get into bed, they have sex, and the sex is okay. In other words, it's not the best sex you ever had, but it's passable. It's like okay, whatever that definition is. Would you just move on and say, this is not the girl for me? Or could you just like say, you know what, she's so great in so many areas that the sex doesn't have to be the thing?
Mediocre sex is okay.
Well, I've never been with a hot girl and the sex was bad. Because I think if I'm attracted to her, I like it so much, it's good. I've been the opposite, where a girl is not incredible looking or not as hot, but it's like, holy shit. Like this is like, something's amazing about the physical connection. If it was passable... At least the way I feel now, if it wasn't the best sex of my life,
right?
But it was like, yeah, like normal, nice, and
you could put up with that the rest of your life.
I feel like I could right now, but you know that's why you date a little bit and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me,
Gary said he's been with chicks who have bad sex. I said, what is your definition of bad sex with a woman? Like, what is bad sex? And he goes, well, she had a hairy belly. I go, no. That's a physical
thing.
I mean, what is bad sex with a woman?
To me, it's if a girl doesn't enjoy it. Which I mean, if you think that she really is not into it,
right? That's the worst.
Yeah.
I've been there where I feel like it's just kind of a dud.
Yeah.
And that's the worst. I wouldn't stay with a girl like that for 2 seconds. But let's say it's passable. Like, what is passable sex?
What's passable?
Or what's bad sex to you?
Well, bad to like the chick that I was with in college. She was like, she was doing her own thing. I can't explain it.
She wasn't with you at all.
Yeah, she was like doing her own thing. She was like just trying to get off, but not necessarily being with me.
Right.
And it was sort of like, she was like in this whole other place. It was just like, and it wasn't like some chick I picked up. You know what I mean? We were like a couple, but she was like doing her own thing. And she was sort of like, I don't know, a little, she felt a little funny.
She felt funny?
What,
yeah.
She was like, her pussy was too big?
Sorta.
And what do you mean she's doing her own thing?
I can't explain it, but there was no connection when we were having sex. You know what I mean?
Right.
No connection whatsoever. It was like, she was like in a different place just trying to get off as opposed to like being with me.
I see. That's bad sex.
It was to me. We did it a couple of times and I said, this
isn't working.
We were dating. Like I wasn't in love with her. I liked her. And I was like, this is bad sex. I'm just going to not do this anymore.
Move on. Yeah, move on.
And she was hot? Like you found her really hot?
I was attracted to her.
Yeah. So you would stay with her if the sex was bad?
If the sex was bad, that I didn't enjoy that aspect of my life, I don't know.
Right.
I mean, yeah. Right now, I just,
Have you had bad sex with a guy, Robin?
Oh, yeah.
And is the sex bad because he comes too fast?
No, it has nothing to do with that. It's like, if I'm not into the guy,
Yeah.
I don't care what he's doing.
You mean you thought you were into him, you get into bed with him.
You're sort of like, I'm
Let me
on the
see.
fence about this.
Right, let me see what happens. And you try it out.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh my God, this
This is
just
as bad
torture.
as I thought it would be.
Okay. But you go through with it because you don't want to be rude.
Well, you try to get through it.
Right. Good for you. You know you're
You
special.
almost feel like you started this. You might as well finish.
Right. I'm not going to be a complete asshole here and kick you out.
Yeah, I don't want
Go
to
ahead and
tell
come.
this
Go ahead.
person that I'm having a miserable time.
All right.
Fuck me, Robin. I'm coming.
All right, Robin. What else is in the news?
Let everything hang out.
I'm just thinking of you in bed with a guy you're not that into. And he's fucking you, and you just can't wait for him to get out.
Let her go fuck me.
This guy was trying to impress me.
Right.
And he's like doing all kinds of tricks.
What kind of trick?
I don't know. Just, you want to keep changing positions. And,
I know.
all that stuff you do if you're really into it.
Go ahead and fuck now.
And I just said, could you just finish?
Did you say that? Ay vey.
Because I just couldn't stand it anymore.
Let it feel good. Go ahead and fuck it now.
And later he was like, no girl has ever said.
You're gonna fuck me hard.
They were probably thinking it.
Oh my goodness.
Fuck yes.
Gary, you've seen Benjy since he was a young intern who occasionally
I saw him when he was a young intern when he first got to me when he was 32, when he was a young puppy.
I mean, you've seen him go through all types of phases, even wearing forms of African garb and,
That's true.
and such. Now, he's a little bit more mature, but he's just hasn't nailed down this women thing. He really, I mean, do you just want to take him aside and pull him aside and tell him that he has no shot and that...
No, because he sort of knows. He's old enough. Like we were talking during the break, every one of us have been through it. No one can ever talk you out of it. You figure it out on your own, hopefully sooner than later. And you never want to be that asshole that goes, fuck her, she's no fucking good, blah, blah, blah. Because then all of a sudden she could wake up one day and marry him, and then you're really the asshole.
Because you've already said too much.
Yeah, you've already said too much. But every guy has to figure this out on his own. Good friends can tell you only so much, and he clearly doesn't want to hear it.
Now you've done the infamous "I Love You" tape and that whole thing. Isn't this kind of a form of that? I mean, this is sort of the same thing.
It's. I mean, does he look like a fucking spineless pussy? Yeah, it's very much a form of that.
But at least you had that girl.
And by the way, I got her back after that tape.
Exactly, and she was once yours to begin with. This girl's never been his,
That's
and
right.
he's still relentlessly pursuing.
If he loves her, he should let her go, and if she doesn't come back, then he'll know.
If you love it, set it free, man. Set it free.
If she returns, it was meant to be.
No, it's one of those things. But I've been through this in Benjy's position with a girl. I'm trying to remember like a girl that you just have a huge crush on, and you just sort of hang around, and you help her with her homework. I remember in college, like help her with her homework, or I took notes for you in my class, or whatever it is. All the shit that you wouldn't even do for your best fucking friend, in the hopes that you might get your dick touched, and nothing happens.
Exactly, because he's acting like her big sister or her best friend. Yeah.
You're too nice. You're too attainable. The best thing he could do is walk away and never call her again. He should walk away today and just stop taking her fucking calls for like a month. And I'll bet you when he turns his phone on in a month, there'll be 1,000 messages from her.
Now that I have you alone, you just attempted to talk some sense into Benjy.
Right.
What are you seeing from this chick?
I'm seeing she seems like a nice girl. I'm also seeing Benjy has a lot more feelings for her than she has for him. It's kind of like a Ganji type thing. Like a friendship deal,
Yeah, they act like they're big sister.
Every girl's best friend type
Right, they
thing.
act like their older sister, like they're
Right, exactly. And she's she's enjoying it. She's having a good time with him. Obviously, he's taking her out for dinner. He's enjoying himself, but he's trying to make it work in a different way than I think she is. She, takes him on a date, and that's the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
I mean. And first of all, for him to do that himself, to go, he's lowering himself to be like a total moron in a way. You know, to go to sit there and watch the girl that he's dreaming about having a relationship with, being on a date with another guy. How could you put yourself through that?
It's bizarre. But do you think she's being, opportunistic? Do you think she's trying to use him at all?
No, because I don't think she's using him. Here's the reason I don't think she's using him. He pursued her.
Right.
And he's impressing her by bringing her up here, taking her on a tour, bringing him on to Jenny Hutt's show, which he shouldn't have done. He knows that. She hasn't been on this show yet. She was scheduled on this show today, and he took her and put her on another show yesterday just to impress her, to running in front of the CNN camera and carrying on just to impress her. He's making a little bit of a fool out of himself.
Do you think if he was more aloof, if he tried to be a little bit more standoffish?
I think if he tried to be a little more bad boy type, I think that's what she's more into. More than like the guy who's sweet. Because that's what she kept saying. He's too sweet. He's too sweet. He's sweet. Marianne said the same thing. A
little more skull and crossbones, a little less
being
overalls.
Every girl's best friend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, hey, you don't want to hang out with me? Fuck you.
I'll find someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
Now let me put some Mambo on and get out of here.
Yeah, a little spray and on your way.
I hear you, man. That's good advice. Hopefully he'll listen to it.
He's not going to listen. That's the problem. Benjy does not listen. He's got to find out the hard way for himself. And unfortunately, he's going to get his heart broken, probably. Feel bad for him.
What do you think? You think Benjy's going to...
He's going to get hurt. He's going to hurt himself. He's actually going to hurt himself.
I tell you, the staff reaction on this, the question is he blinded by the vagina, or is she using it?
No. She's not using it.
She's being upfront, though.
Yeah.
She's saying, I'm not into you.
But she's an idiot. No, but she's not using him because the fact is, he brought her here.
Right.
She's not using him. He brought her to Jenny's show last night here. He brought her all around here.
He's like a yenta.
You know what it is?
He's trying to impress her, but it's not going to work that way.
When a guy knows the chick's out of his league, he goes everywhere. Right.
I love this.
He's got so many issues.
It's not going to work that way.
You guys ought to do an intervention.
Oh, please.
I try to talk to him. He won't listen. Benjy never listens to anything.
He's cocksure. What case is it?
Cockstrong.
Cockstrong.
Yeah. We're getting ready for your girl coming in. Your girlfriend's coming in. You excited?
I'm very excited.
Okay, so you might tape her sound check?
Oh, Jordana. Jordana.
You're gonna check. You're gonna do her sound check. You record it, or we'll have someone record you.
Right.
Sound check. What are you doing this for?
What do you mean?
This isn't usually the norm. Like people come in the morning of and rehearse, like all the big names and stuff. And
that's not true. We have a lot of people do sound checks.
Yeah.
I know, no, she's just more comfortable. It's like her first time. She's nervous.
Yeah.
And it makes, it's like if you were the first time you're ever using a camera, you might want to try it out for a second first.
Why doesn't she come in with her people?
She doesn't have people.
You're her people.
Well, I mean, she will have people.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we'll take care of it. All right, you'll let us know. So all you got to do, Benj, is that's it. It's the button right over here. See?
Yeah.
You turn it on.
Really show me.
We're going to do the whole thing. That's stop and start, right? Whoever's doing it, record. And the numbers are moving.
Okay, so...
Yeah, just hit it again. But make sure, you always want to make sure the numbers are moving here.
Okay.
Matt, do you know where a battery for this is? A fresh one?
Behind that rack.
All right.
It's rack.
Now, is that better than an iPhone?
What?
To record on that. Is that easier for you?
Yeah, this would be much easier for us. All right.
All right. Turn the silver button from off to on.
Can you just put in a Google?
Always shoot wide.
Contour HD.
You hit the start stop that to record and make sure the numbers are moving.
Right.
It's recording. The numbers are moving. Now it's recording. That's moving. So it's recording.
Okay. Not even look.
Okay, so you're on now.
Can't even look at you now. You're wasting all of my time. You're wasting all of my time. You know what? I sound better in this than like regular, I think.
Okay, cool.
I sound better, yeah. can't even look at you now. You're wasting all of my time. You're wasting all of my time. Time. I can't even think of you now. I want you out of my sight. I want you out of my sight. But I'm fine. Fuck you, I'm fine. And I'm not even sure I'm designed to share this kind of love, with you, right? And I'm fine. Fuck you, I'm fine. And I'm not even sure that I like sleeping next to you all the time. 'Cause you're not even the type that I like. You're not even respecting me now. I'm just trying to have a good life. I'm just trying to have a good life. You're even insulting me now. And I know you are addicted to lies. I know you are addicted to lies. But I'm fine. Fuck you, I'm fine. And I'm not even sure I'm designed to share this kind of love, with you, right? And I'm fine. Fuck you, I'm fine. And I'm not even sure that I like sleeping next to you all the time. 'Cause you're not even the type that I like.
Cool. Hey Lisa, this is Jason.
Hey.
Hey, Jason.
Jason actually might be in here tomorrow.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I will definitely be in here
Like
tomorrow.
taking pictures. That's
so
what.
come and say hi and meet you. Benjy.
Oh,
has
Well, I mean, like indoor.
crazy.
I know,
I'm
that's
glad
why I'm
you don't
practicing.
disappoint. Yeah. Oh, you better be here all night. I mean, you sound great.
I know.
But
Oh, my
Benjy
God,
made. Really, you need to bring it.
I really need to bring it. I know, but this is good that sound's going in and out, because if that happens, I need to be ready.
Is the sound going in and out?
Going in and out.
Yeah, it's going off and on.
Just
right now?
That might be that
before I
wireless.
was playing.
Is that the wireless maybe? Because it's.
Oh, maybe this plug wasn't in all the way. Hold on.
Could be.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, I have those won't be the headphones you're using tomorrow.
They're not?
I'm
Yeah,
hoping.
they're not.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
We'll make sure they're plugged in all the way.
Try now.
Okay. Yeah, because
What is it usually?
I thought they used the wired headphones.
Where would they wire them from?
I don't.
Because, yeah, it was going like in and out. So.
Continuously?
Yeah.
Like off and on? You know what? The batteries probably need to be replaced in that, which
Oh.
they usually do every morning. So we'll make
I mean, I'll remind Scott tomorrow morning to triple check that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you sound great. I'm excited. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm really excited.
Oh, cool. I read your notes. Very good stuff. So it should be awesome. But Benjy, it's all about Benjy.
Interesting. Thanks, man.
Yeah, Benji's a star.
Benjy's the star. Cool. All right. Well, have fun. Good song.
Thank you.
And I guess that's it. Benjy, need me for anything?
If you want, if you're up, she was. You don't have to.
No.
Whatever he wants to do.
No, I gotta go.
He's-
Oh, okay.
I gotta
Head
be here earlier tomorrow to shoot. What time are you coming in?
It's like 6:30.
Oh, okay. Cool. Awesome. Well, it's nice meeting you.
It's very nice to meet you.
Awesome. Ben, I'll see you later.
See you, man.
Chris, I'll see you later. Chris, I'll blame Scott for anything that goes wrong. Don't worry about it.
Well done.
Does it feel good?
You know what? It felt pretty good. Even like that when that was happening, it was fine.
Okay.
Let me try that again. Well, I should do it again, right? A lot of time.
As much as you want, I'm cool. Do you want anyone else in here like to watch? To help?
Just gonna get a little headphone function here.
Do you want me to get other people in there?
I can't even look at you now. You're wasting all of my time. You're wasting all of my time. Time. I can't even think of you now. I want you out of my sight. I want you out.
It's
just recording now.
Okay. So this is my friend Elisa. You can say hi.
Hello.
She's doing a sound check. She has a lot of experience as a musician, but this is the first time she'll be playing like solo with spotlighted on the radio. So she's very nervous, even though she's very talented, and she wants to practice as much as possible. And that's Chris is setting up the sound. Chris Gibbons, who's often mentioned on the show. And go for it.
Okay.
I'm Benjy. This is Sarah's filming.
Hello.
I can't even look at you now. You're wasting all of my time. You're wasting all of my time. I can't even think of you now. I want you out of my sight.
Hey,
Ben. There. How are you?
Good morning. How's it going?
Good.
Back up yet.
Very
good. Tower Heist.
Yes, Tower Heist.
The new flick.
Tower Heist.
Tower Heist.
You don't want to be on camera, right?
You and Eddie Murphy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, very exciting to work with Eddie.
I saw the trailer. It looked awesome.
Thank you.
Very apropos to the times. This
Yes.
Ponzi scheme. You can go in either
Okay, great.
So are you looking forward to Howard? I mean, I imagine you do a lot of press for when a new movie comes out and then this stuff comes along.
I do look forward to Howard. I like Howard.
Some people cringe at the thought of a much tougher interview than...
No, I like him. I feel like he's always decent.
We'll be back right after
and funny.
Listen to this.
And you just don't have to answer every question he asks you.
I was going to say, you've been doing this for about 10 years. You've become pretty good at evading.
Certain things you just let them go by.
That's
and you know it's coming, so. But I enjoy it. I like Howard. I like the whole group.
All right, Ben. Have fun today. We'll see you in the studio.
Thank you.
All right, Ben Stiller is promoting a new movie with Eddie Murphy. A lot of people are excited to see Eddie Murphy back on the screen, see him with Ben. And it's called Tower Heist. It opens this Friday in theaters everywhere. There he is. There's Ben Stiller. Look at him.
There.
Look at this guy. You exhausted? I mean,
He
I
looks
feel
like he just woke up.
Tired.
You have to be because you work a lot. I mean, it's a nonstop with you.
But you start early too.
That's true too. You're right. I probably, if I had a normal job, I'd see you looking peppy.
You probably would look a little more awake.
Is your life exhausting?
Sometimes, like right now, because I'm working on another movie. I'm acting in a movie, so it's
with Jonah Hill. We just had him in
Jonah
here.
and Vince Vaughn.
So when you're doing that and you're promoting this movie, and then you did Saturday Night Live, how are you keeping this all going and family life?
Well, you just sort of, like I took all summer off, so like 8 weeks this summer where we just did nothing. So just with the family all summer.
And what happens when you go back to work? Do you even see your kids at all? I mean, like you barely.
No. I saw my kids this morning.
You have energy for them?
Yeah. I mean, you have to have energy for and then your kids give you energy.
And don't you spend a lot of time reading scripts? And I mean, you've got a lot of projects, so to speak.
I think you just have to balance your life and figure out what's important. And I think over the years, for me, I've figured out how much I can handle and how much,
I think you should write a book about how to balance your life.
How to manage your time.
No, because I got to tell you something. Especially when my kids were young and I was involved with my career and doing this radio show, it was very difficult for me to juggle time with my family.
Yes.
Because I was hell-bent. I thought my responsibility was to make a living for them and that I had to keep this all going. This was sort of my delusion.
Yeah.
And I thought I had to provide, and everything else would be taken care of, let's say, by my wife. But the truth is, if you're going to be a good father, you can't think like that. You have to be involved with your kids.
And you also you never get that time back.
That's right.
The young, the first, 10 years.
Right.
And I think I learned when my daughter was born, because I worked a lot the first few years after my daughter was born, and I realized how that affected the family and then me and our relationship and all of it. And you just can't take it for granted.
Grown up with two people in show business, did they manage that, or did they just forget you? What?
Well, when your parents
crazy, your parents, 70s,
but wait a second, your parents were Stiller and Meara. They still are. They were brilliant comedians. I was a big fan of Stiller and Meara.
Right.
And, I'd watch them on Ed Sullivan. Like, they were a big deal to me. But I would imagine, I was thinking of you. I was watching the documentary on Joan Rivers. Mm-hmm. And it was sad for me because Joan is so career obsessed.
Right.
That really what you see is her daughter really even said, my mother was her career. I was kind of second thought. Right. And I imagine, because Stella and Meara were so big, that you saw your parents, I'm sure, but I'm sure you were second to their career. I would have to think it would almost be necessary. They have to write the material, come up with it. Am I correct?
I wouldn't say second. I would say that they had to work. First of all, they had to work to make a living. They really did have to keep doing it. They were very. My mom, I think they worked together as a team. I think my father was more of the guy who was behind that. I think my mom wanted to just be an actress, and my dad wanted to do comedy and got her into doing comedy.
Right.
And then together they became,
So in essence, she was not home a lot. I mean, they were on the road working.
Well, we were living. They never went to California, so they stayed in New York because they wanted to live here.
Right.
And they would have to go on the road, and they would take us with them whenever they could.
Right.
So it was a crazy life. So sometimes they were there, sometimes they weren't there.
You didn't resent their career?
As a kid?
Yeah.
We didn't know anything else.
But you felt cared for?
I felt cared for. I mean, it wasn't perfect for sure, but they loved us. They didn't abuse us.
Right.
They weren't there. No.
Well, no, they were there when they were there, and then they weren't when they weren't. But the tough thing was that they had to work together. So when they had to go, they both of them were. So there was Hazel, our housekeeper, who took care of us.
So you were raised by Hazel.
Hazel, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Where is Hazel now?
Yeah,
Hazel
do we stay in touch with her?
Hazel's in Queens. Yes, she's an amazing woman. She had 7 children of her own.
Right.
Wow.
She's from Jamaica. We used to go and stay. She was living in Brooklyn when she was taking care of us. We used to go for sleepovers in Flatbush when I was a kid.
With Hazel's 7 kids?
Yeah. Yeah. We had so much fun.
Did you find that Hazel's 7 kids were angry with you or jealous of you because you got their mother's...
Who are you?
You probably got their mother, the pleasant Hazel.
Well, they're great kids, but definitely, I bet there were some issues because she was with us 5 days a week. She would sleep over.
Right.
And be there, and she was there taking care of a lot of kids.
And so you became sort of her favorite kids. I mean, you had to be.
Well, her kids love her, though. She's amazing. She has grandkids now, and she adopted her stepsister. I mean, she's a saint.
So your parents didn't throw Hazel into the street?
When you were old enough to take care of yourself?
No, they were so grateful to her for being there.
Did you ever have a fist fight with her kids and have to fight with them?
No, we got a lot. We used to play together. We'd make little home movies together.
Right.
We had good times.
So you have said recently, because you're out promoting this movie stuff, but you talk about L.A. like it's poisonous. You moved your whole family to New York, right? And
it's not poisonous. I just wanted to get back to New York after having grown up here and having kids. Now my daughter's 9, my son's 6. I wanted them to have an East Coast experience before they got too old.
Explain to me, because I've heard a lot of actors and people who have to work in L.A. say, I can't stand L.A. I wish I could live in New York. I've been to L.A. It seems to me, now maybe I'm delusional.
But you don't live there.
I don't live there.
Yeah.
I've never had the opportunity. It seems like fun. It seems like great weather. It's warm. The people seem nice enough. I mean, I don't think they're any less vapid than the people here or any more vapid than the people here. It seems kind of the same thing except with better weather. Am I crazy? I lock myself in the house anyway. What do I care where I live?
No, it's different, I think. It's a little more isolated because you can live a life where you never have to go on the street. Even to come here to do your show, you have to go on the street, and you have to...
Right.
Even if you were in an armored limousine, you still have to get out of the car and walk across the street to get into the building, right?
Right. In L.A. you don't.
Sidewalk. You don't have to do that, so you can literally live in your house or go to the studio or do whatever your life is and never interact with people.
So because you're a comedian, a comic actor, you started to believe maybe that you weren't having enough life experience to...
I just missed New York. I missed that experience of just, I guess, just the city. But by
the way, I want you to know something. I have figured out a way to be carried around where I don't actually see you.
I saw your armored
living
limousine
like he's in
downstairs.
LA.
Yeah, it's amazing how I figured out how to live an LA lifestyle here in New York.
No, but the second we moved out of LA, I started to appreciate it so much more.
To appreciate LA.
Yes, for sure.
And isn't it true you have all of your business friends there, all the guys you create movies with?
Yeah,
you're
yes.
set up there. You have a studio, you have an office.
I have a production company there, yeah.
If you need to meet with Eddie Murphy and Brett Ratner, they're right there. It's not like they have to come fly into New York. I mean, it seems to me that would be the place for you.
Yeah.
Right.
It is, yeah, it might be more convenient, but I think, I was talking, Jerry Seinfeld said that he likes living in New York because it's harder, and he likes it being harder.
He does.
He thinks that's healthy, and I think that's it's an interesting thing. It's because you do have to brave the elements, and you have to experience life.
The guy I can't figure out. Oh, okay, but wait a second. Before I get to the guy I can't figure out. So now you've moved back to New York, and you bought an apartment in your parents' building. Is that true?
That is true.
In the building where you grew up.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that does seem a little odd to me. I'll be honest with you.
It didn't happen, but it didn't happen in that order. We got the apartment about 6 years ago.
Why do you want to live so close to your parents?
Well,
I would find that annoying.
It's a little crazy.
Right. It is, right? Like, I mean,
what happened was about 6 years ago, we'd been looking for a place in New York, and I was visiting my mom, and she said, "Oh, you should check out the 𝙝𝙬𝙬𝙧𝙬 are selling their apartment upstairs in our building." This is like the most New York Upper West Side.
Right.
So the 𝙝𝙬𝙬𝙧 had an apartment in the building that they were selling, and we looked at it. It's just as a lark, because I never in a million years thought I'd ever move back into the building I grew up in.
Right. I mean, try for a new experience.
Yeah. And the apartment had just been redone. They had 2 kids, the same age as our kids, so there were like 2 rooms for the kids. It was like turnkey, walk-in. Pied-a-terre, wonderful situation.
Right.
And I said to Christine, I said, this is crazy, this apartment. And she said, why don't we do it? Let's just do it. Let's just go for it. This was 6 years ago, not to move there, but just to have it as a place in the city.
But wasn't Christine afraid to sort of move into the same building as your parents, because your parents could become, I don't know your parents, but they could become obtrusive, that maybe they'd start to tell her how to raise the kids?
We didn't think about that at that point.
Or did you start to think about, like, they could watch the kids when we want to go out for a night or something like that?
Sort of.
Yeah, right.
But they're
built-in babysitters.
They're not that kind of grandparent. They're like the fun grandparents you go to, but they're, yeah.
Well, what are the rules? Did Christine set down rules and say, listen, your parents just can't walk into the apartment? I mean,
or
are there
they
rules?
just there all the time?
No.
The rules sort of got established through experience.
I see.
So we got the apartment there, and one day we were in the bedroom, and we were talking, and I looked in the doorway. My father was standing there.
Right.
In our bedroom.
Right. Really?
So that's when we first realized we had to establish some
Is that
boundaries.
really true, or are you making a joke?
I am not making a joke.
You're saying your father showed up in the bedroom.
And if I told you the layout of the apartment, it's deep into the apartment.
Like
it's not even like he just was in like the hallway.
And he didn't call out, "Hey!"
And what was Christine wearing?
Our own fault.
I'm naked.
It could have been anything. It really could have been anything.
Does Christine call your father Dad, or does she call? What does she call him?
She calls him Jerry.
She does.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But it was definitely that experience was like, okay, first of all, I need to lock the door.
Right.
That's my own fault. And then, but we actually do it to each other, where we'll go downstairs and knock on the door, and we've established that there's respect and all that.
So there was an actual conversation with your parents. You sat them down and you said,
"Oh yeah."
You had to say, look, there's boundaries.
It's been a really crazy experience. And then we moved back to New York full time.
Right.
And now all of a sudden we're spending much more time at that apartment. So it is crazy.
So it's the whole gang. It's sort of a sitcom in a sense, isn't it?
I think it could be.
I was reading some article with you where you said that, I never considered, and I consider this very smart, you never considered yourself a stand-up comic or something. And you never tried to sort of go outside of what you felt comfortable with. You considered yourself a comic actor. You wanted to be a serious actor, and then somehow you found you had a flair for comedy.
Yeah, and director. That's what that was like always what I really wanted to do, is direct movies more than anything.
You say one of your biggest regrets is not directing certain movies. Like, you've been handed certain movies to direct and you passed on them.
I passed on Good Will Hunting. And I'm not going to say that I got offered it, but I got sent the script.
Yes.
And I didn't get around to reading it.
You're busy with your parents.
Which really...
You're busy giving the kids their time.
I think they said, there are these 2 guys, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, attached to it. They're going to be in it. They wrote it. I'm like, give me a break.
Is that something that haunts you, literally? I mean, seriously. I mean, Good Will Hunting would have been...
There's so many choices as you go down the road. Sure, there ones you think like, that's a great movie. That would have been great if I had just picked it up and read it.
Right. How many scripts do you read a week?
I don't read, as few as possible.
Is
really.
that true?
Yeah.
Can you look at a script and know it'll be a good movie?
No, not necessarily. You can look at something and say it has potential, but usually, like once you find something, then it's a long process of working on it and developing.
And how does one become a director? What do you have to be good at? Were you a photographer? Do you understand the camera? Do you understand what the camera can do?
When I was a kid, I just started. I picked up a Super 8 camera and started making movies.
Your own movies?
Yeah, they weren't great, but I loved shooting the movies. I loved going to the movies, and
But you never went to school for directing or something like that, did you?
No, I never went to film school. I wanted to go to film school, but then I went to UCLA, and they had a theater department, and you couldn't start the film school till your junior year.
I see.
And then I quit before.
Oh, you dropped out of school.
Well, when do you find time to write? Because you also do that.
I work with. I haven't ever sat down and written a script by myself.
Yeah.
The guy you were writing with is the guy who hooked up with Jennifer Aniston. The one you wrote to.
Yeah.
Tropic
Thunder.
Yeah.
Justin Theroux and I wrote that together. Yeah, but we worked on that for like 8 years together.
So he's a good buddy of yours.
He's great. Yeah, I've known him for years.
So how's that work in show business now? Do you get to hang out with Jennifer Aniston?
But I've known Jennifer for a while too.
Oh, you have.
So yeah.
All right. So you get.
It's funny to see two friends that you know separately all of a sudden become a couple, and then.
Is that the most fascinating?
It's just so funny to me how people are so obsessed.
Is that the most fascinating part of being famous and successful, that you get to hang out with Jennifer Aniston and Justin, and although maybe you were used to that.
You see all of that from the inside instead of having to read about it.
Right.
No, because Justin is just Justin.
Is it weird when you see Justin like making out with Jennifer Aniston? Do you ever say to him, "Wow, look how things have changed, my friend"?
I've never seen them make out together.
You haven't.
But there one day about like maybe 4 months ago, Justin and I were walking down Houston Street, and I'm not a paparazzi magnet. Okay.
Why not? Why are you not a pop?
Because I have no idea.
Your movies have grossed over $5 billion. You're one of the most popular movie stars, and yet you say you can walk down the street and paparazzi pass you by.
Yeah.
They don't care about you.
Yeah, they don't care. So I'm walking down the street with Justin on Houston. This is like 4 months ago. And there's one lone straggler paparazzi guy that happened upon us. Literally, he must have been heading to go find Blake Lively or something.
Right.
And he sees me and he starts walking and just taking pictures across the street. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he finally, for 5 minutes, he's following us. And then he comes over and he's got his pad out. He's like from the Daily News or something. And he's like, okay, hey Ben, who's your friend? Who's your friend? I'm with Justin. I'm like, and Justin and I are like, doesn't matter, whatever. And this was like literally 2 weeks before this Jennifer thing happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
And and the irony is that now it would be the other way around.
Right. They'd say, hey, can you get out of the picture?
Justin,
we need to get
who's
Justin.
that with you?
Yeah. See, but you need to talk to your wife about dating Jennifer Aniston. That's what you need to do. Now, the whole Eddie Murphy thing is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Because he is a complete enigma to me. I am one of the biggest Eddie Murphy fans on the planet.
Yeah.
And as many people are. But I am obsessed with the guy. I think he's brilliant. I think he was the best stand-up comic, better than Richard Pryor. That's how I feel about Eddie Murphy.
He's amazing, yeah.
And yet the guy has gone into a complete shell. I saw him on Letterman the other night promoting the movie, and it was like he could barely even sort of get out a word. It's almost like he got so successful that he just kind of changed completely.
Well,
he went through that change they talk about in Hollywood, where a guy who didn't have money and all of a sudden he had money, and it completely changed his personality.
Right?
But how do we know that? We don't know that because he's been famous since he was 18.
I know, but
this guy's been successful for so long, and he's so iconic that I think, and he is mysterious. And I don't. All I know him is from working with him, and I had nothing but a great experience with him. I mean,
he seems like a good guy.
Yeah, I think but he is mysterious.
When you do a movie with Eddie Murphy, do you hang out with Eddie Murphy? Do you go to his house and see what's happening over there?
I haven't been to his house, but we work together every day, and we hung out a little bit.
He talks. He doesn't stay in his trailer.
Yeah, no, I think he's a very shy guy.
Right.
I think he's so good. When you're in a scene with him, it's crazy.
He gives it his all.
Well, he gives it, but his energy is like, what you see on screen, that you're sitting there going, wow, you're feeling this Eddie Murphy thing coming at you that's very powerful and real.
Is he ad-libbing a lot?
Yes.
He is. And because I read somewhere he says, someone said, one of the co-stars in the movie said, oh, with Eddie, every scene is different. Every take is different. And to me, that would be almost frustrating for you.
He's really smart. He loves movies. He has all the same reference points that we do.
Right.
You know, he is. He's really, really good, and he's kind of. You know, he's very serious about what he does, too.
He describes his life that he lives in his house. He hasn't read a newspaper in 20 years, he said. Now, that's nothing you should brag about. I mean, be a little topical.
I don't think that's unhealthy.
Did you have to tell him who the president
was? I don't, not at all.
Did you tell him who the president? That we have a black president? He might be happy to hear that.
He might have been really happy to hear that.
But
he has a newspaper. Know the president.
He has a 2-lane bowling house in a bowling alley in his house. He was very proud of beating the guy from Rolling Stone in his bowling alley, and that he basically sits there, plays the guitar, and doesn't talk to anyone.
What does he have to prove?
Nothing.
He's
but
Eddie Murphy.
It seems very lonely now. His life, you know.
I don't know. I think he's. You know, the guy is iconic. It's great. Like when we talk about him, he is. He is. And it's he's a guy who's he's really, really talented. As famous as he is talented.
So what happens? You get a call from Brett Ratner saying, "I'm thinking of putting you and Eddie Murphy together." How does this all come together?
Well, this is a strange one on this movie because the movie was originally Eddie's idea.
Okay, right.
A few years ago.
All black cast.
Yeah,
right.
And I didn't know that, and whatever process it went through, it came around to me, not knowing that it even had come from Eddie. And and then we were talking. Brett was saying, like, you know, we got to cast this role of Slide, and we both were like, well, Eddie Murphy would be the dream casting for the role.
So somebody has to put up the money to get Eddie Murphy and you. You're what are you getting now? 15 to 20 million a movie, right? So they got 20 million in you. They got 20 million in Eddie.
You know, this is the kind of
movie.
What do you mean,
no? That's true.
I mean that this is the kind of movie where everybody wants to be in the movie because they like the movie. And
but wait
these days, everybody does whatever they need to do to make it work to be in the movie.
You're telling me you cut your price to be in the movie?
We all work to make it work.
You're shitting me.
Everybody wants to be just.
But you're a 20 million guy. I mean, you've sold enough tickets.
Doesn't that hurt you to take less?
Why don't you say, hey, fuck Eddie? Let Eddie. Eddie has
not
let
about
him
the money.
take less.
Right.
Honestly, it's not about.
So what
the
do you
money.
take? 17 million instead of 20? I mean, what does everyone shave?
It's not about that. The point is, you know, you just want to do a movie that's good, and you want to work with people. Like if everybody was pricing everybody out of the market, then nobody would work together.
So you cut your price for the movie.
You make it work in a way that everybody can be in the movie.
So did you get points
you took
instead
points
of?
on the movie. I mean, what is this? I want to know what's going on here.
You know what? That should be
The money does matter though to you. It does.
But for me, really, at this point, I want to just be a part of a good movie. And
really?
I want to work with Eddie Murphy. That's for me what the exciting thing is.
You know, listen, Eddie's got to pay for his bowling alley. He needs the money. So you're telling me, so Brett calls you up. He says, I think I have a good idea. Does he get you guys in a room somewhere? Does he take you out to dinner and you guys can discuss the idea of being in a movie together?
I had run into Eddie a couple of times. And
where do you run into him?
I ran into him at the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf on Ventura Boulevard.
Is that true?
Yeah.
So that's why it's important for you to be in L.A. You've got to have these chance
network
meetings.
At the Coffee Bean.
Well, yeah.
Right.
But isn't that true? I mean, in a sense, this wouldn't have come about if you hadn't networked at the Coffee Bean.
Yeah, but I mean...
Whatever that is.
Yeah, it's like a local sort of Starbucks-y type of place.
And only famous people go there?
No, it's a regular place.
So you go in there, you say, hey, Eddie Murphy, what's happening, my friend?
I was ordering a coffee, and somebody tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned around, and it was Eddie Murphy.
Oh.
And I was like, oh shit, this is wild.
Yeah, right.
And he just said, hey, hi, how you doing? And I was sort of like, didn't know what to say. Because he does have that aura about him, you know?
And when you were standing there at the Coffee Bean with Eddie and he taps you on the shoulder, then you go, hey, let's do a movie together.
Not quite, but then I'd run into him about 6 months later or like a year later, and we were on a plane together.
Do you have a conversation, or is it just?
And then we
started
talking about movies because we were on a plane together for like 5 hours going from L.A. to New York,
sitting next to one another.
Yeah, and we started talking about just like movies we liked.
Were you like, oh, this is so annoying after hour 2? Like, I want to close my eyes and go to sleep, but it's Eddie Murphy. And
I want to try to be interesting to Eddie Murphy for 5 hours.
Is that still important to you? Did you feel pressure in this conversation on the plane with Eddie Murphy?
Of
like,
course.
I just want to seem very.
Wouldn't you? I mean, wouldn't you want
yes.
to? Like, yeah.
That's why I hate going out. I don't want to have that pressure.
No, it was a little bit, but we got along.
It's almost like a date. It's like a date.
And then you think, oh, the first 2 hours went well. Let me see, what am I going to pull out for over?
And what movies
Ohio?
did you talk about with Eddie Murphy?
We talked about comedies that we liked. We actually talked a lot about Harold Lloyd.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Harold Lloyd. That's
Yeah.
going way back.
Yeah.
Is that to prove to each other that you're both students of film? That you understand the talkies versus the. Harold Lloyd.
He brought up. We were talking about that movie where Harold Lloyd hangs off the clock, safety last, and anyway, and we both were into that, and then we also both.
Is it important in Hollywood to know who Harold Lloyd is so that you can have
if
those?
you're talking to Eddie Murphy, and you want to impress him.
What do you think of
that was just one
the Great Train Robbery?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. It's beautiful cinema.
That was just one part of the conversation. Then we, and then we're sort of the same age. He's like, 4 years older than me. So we have the same reference points.
So you both have this love of comedy, and you said, hey, we should do a movie together. So how does Brett Ratner get you guys into
Brett, is a very persuasive guy. So Brett, I think, called up Eddie and told him about it. But then that's when I learned that it was Eddie's idea originally.
I
the whole
see.
Thing.
So Eddie probably went to Brett and said, hey, I was on a plane with Ben Stiller, and, we hit it off, and maybe we have some comedy sort of vibe with each other.
Well, no, I know Brett called up and said, hey, would you be in the movie?
Right.
And then it was just like, and then it was also one of those things where once his name came out, it was like nobody else could play the part.
Who else is in this movie? There's a whole bunch.
Crazy. It's Alan Alda.
Right.
Who plays
I know Alan Alda.
Alan Alda's amazing.
He lives in my building.
He does, doesn't he?
Right, yeah.
And Matthew Broderick, who's really, really funny in the movie.
You like him?
Yeah, I love Matthew.
You hang out with him?
Well, Matthew and
Sounds like a great life you're having.
Matthew and I know each other because I directed The Cable Guy 15 years ago.
Oh, wow, yeah.
All right, right.
So that's how we first met, but we never acted together. And we have a lot in common because Matthew and I both grew up in New York, but our parents are actors. We're basically the same age, so we have a lot of...
But your life sounds like so much fun. Mine is so secluded. I mean, it's like really...
Well, that's because you won't go out.
And then, I'll make a celebrity friend, and then, they never want to see me again.
Well, you and Ben actually got together for dinner.
And he never saw me again after that.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm telling you.
That was sort of on you. I feel like I left the last email, and I didn't want, and then I want to push it.
I feel like I blew it because I didn't tell you I'm in love with Battleship Potemkin. And I should have brought that up.
Thank you.
You would have loved my conversation if I brought that up. But it's true. My wife and I were saying the other night that we have gotten together with couples and celebrity couples, and it must go horribly wrong because they never get in touch with us again.
I understand that that stress. It's that thing when you're sitting across from somebody, you want to be interesting, you don't know them that well. And
right.
Yeah.
We think we're interesting, and I think I have wonderful conversation with these celebrities.
Yeah, and then nothing.
They never invite us to anything, and it's like, well, and then we invite them again, and nothing happens.
You were nice. You invited us out to your palatial Hamptons.
Yes,
estate.
I did. Yeah, because I wanted you to have some fun. You would have had a really good time sitting there with me. Yeah. I think most people have figured out that I'm not that much fun.
Wait a minute, so you invited them and they didn't go?
No.
Oh.
Never really
I tried.
followed up on it.
No, they never followed up.
No, I followed up.
We had a real nice dinner, and that was it.
You tried, hey, let's do the whole weekend thing. And
we're back. I told you, we're back. We live here now.
That's all right. Listen, I don't have any film references like Harold Lloyd. I'm not going to pull that out.
You're going to have to go watch a whole bunch of black and white movies before you have
Honey, to prepare for our dinner with Ben and Christine, let's go watch
Jacques Tati.
Ben, I was just watching some Jacques Tati, and Birth of a Nation is so, and then that would be it. That would be wonderful. Well, listen, what do I know? And so you and Eddie then start working together on the set.
Right.
And then it's magical because Eddie is magical.
Eddie is magic. I mean, he really is good. And with the first scene we did, we're in this car together, and he started improvising, and I felt like I was watching an Eddie Murphy movie.
Were you nervous?
Yes.
You were?
Yeah.
Even
sure.
to this day, after all these hits?
You've worked with De Niro. You've worked with them all.
But Eddie is Eddie. I mean,
that's right.
And we really don't. We didn't know each other, so it's that thing where you do want to sort of try to do your best and hope that it's going to work together.
Do you rehearse?
We rehearsed a little bit.
Is there any preparation? Like we have to go out and be pals? Are you buddies in the movie?
We're old. We know each other. We grew up in the same neighborhood, and then we sort of went our separate ways. And he's sort of a criminal, like sort of a small-time criminal in the neighborhood.
So it's not necessary for you to hang out with him.
Right. But
wow.
we did hang out a little bit, and I really like him. Yeah. I mean,
where did you hang out?
Where did you shoot this film?
We shot the film in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And we did we had a benefit for Haiti while we were doing the film, and he came and became
You're all involved with
co-hosted.
Haiti.
Yeah.
Now, how do you have time for that? Going to Haiti and helping
Do you
people?
go?
Yeah, he goes. He goes to Haiti, too. You're gonna die of exhaustion. I'm reading this article about Ben, and he's like all serious about his career, and and he's got 50 different films going at
And then all
once,
of a sudden, Haiti.
and Haiti, and then President Clinton and Jennifer Aniston buys a piece of art for $500,000.
I know. Isn't that
Sounds
great?
crazy.
She supported this auction that we worked on for like a year.
I'm
and she
exhausted
came.
with your life. I mean, Haiti's great, but come on. I mean, how much time is there in the day?
Well, look, it's obviously
still have trouble there.
It's a very tough situation. It's almost 2 years after the earthquake.
Yeah.
There's still like 600,000 people living in tents, and it's very easy to forget because we all another natural disaster happens and we have problems here at home. And
right.
When did you go to? How often do you go to Haiti to go help the people there?
I go maybe I'm going in about 4 weeks. Once every 6 months or something
And
like that.
why? How did you get
Because
involved
I
in
went.
this?
And
I
aren't
went
you
on a trip
scared?
there. No, it's not scary at all. I recommend you should go. You should go.
Oh, he can't go to a resort. How's he going to go to Haiti?
I won't go to a beautiful resort because I'm afraid that something's going to happen.
Haiti's beautiful.
I'm sure
it's a beautiful
it is.
country,
But-
and there's obviously a huge, there's a dichotomy there because there's such poverty. But
how did you get involved in the?
Because I went
beginning?
on a trip before the earthquake there, about 6 months before the earthquake.
Uh-huh.
That sounds awful.
Well,
I mean, going on vacation. I mean, imagine that. Gee, I was thinking his life was pretty perfect. Oh my God, poor
he
you.
goes to Haiti so he can feel good about
No, you know
how
what?
well
I'll tell
he's
you
doing.
something. It gives you perspective on your life. If you go somewhere and you see how people are living, most of the world is living, below the poverty level. So when you go there, you see that. It really does give you a perspective. And Haiti's
Do you
an
ever
amazing
fuck with the
place.
people in Haiti and just go, you know what? I made $15 million on my last film.
No,
just to
I
blow
don't.
their mind. You keep that low key.
Do you stay at like
What was
a
exciting is we
major mansion hotel, something?
There are hotels there. There's a great hotel called the Olafson there that's been there for years. That
Do you ever walk around and just hand out money?
Here's the thing in Haiti.
I would do that.
Well, we raised $13.7 million at this art auction.
Wow,
which was
impressive.
And these artists were very generous with their work. People like Jeff Koons and Luke Toymans and like these big artists. But the thing is, there's a new president there now. There's a new government. So now there's a chance for the world to have some confidence in their government and start investing, because economic investment is really what's the answer.
And you hang out with Bill Clinton, too, right?
Well, just for Haiti things like that.
Don't you wish he was still the president? I mean, he was the best president in my lifetime, I could think of. I mean, everything seemed to be running fine with him. Why can't he just be president for life?
I support our president 100%.
I support our president, too, but Bill Clinton was some president, right?
He was a great president. I think also whenever a president leaves office, in retrospect, we always,
Not necessarily. I don't feel that about Bush.
That's right.
But Bush then, since Bush and Clinton went down to Haiti together, and have done
And when you
things.
go to Haiti, you
Jimmy
can't-
Carter's done great stuff since he was president.
When you go to Haiti, you can't, flaunt your lifestyle, so you can't be driven around
So
in a
what do you
limo.
wear?
What do you wear, and what kind of car do you drive when you're down there? I mean, it's got to be a shit like
You
a
gotta
Valiant.
get some wreck.
I'm not driving my own car down there. Somebody's driving us around.
Oh,
like
really?
A Jeep or whatever.
Or maybe a rickshaw.
Yeah.
I think it's like a donkey car.
But you know what? It's when you go down there, you see that the reality down there is very tough, but you also see that there's a chance there for change. So if we can put our attention there and support what's going on there in terms of it is
because if listen.
But it's not just about throwing money there. It's like the problem with Haiti is that they've for years and years, ever since they were the beginning of the country, it was a slave revolt. Then the French made them pay this debt they held it against them for years and years. So they've always been on this uphill struggle.
It's very hard for the people there to have anything. And they've always, as a people, they've been raped by their governments and everything else.
There's been
And
a
it
lot
has
of
to,
corruption.
you
There's been a lot of
have to
corruption
go
over
through
the
the
years.
education of people.
And there's no public
right.
education system
Right.
there, and there's no one to train the teachers. So, it's very easy to look at it all and go, this is just too much, forget it. And I think, though, there are people who are really making a change there. People like Paul Farmer, who his Partners in Health, who's just an amazing doctor, has been going there for years. And
I should help somebody. You're getting
really
me thinking.
should.
That would be good
Why
for my
don't
career.
you go with
you
Ben
help
to
people
Haiti?
by making them happy.
Maybe I'll go with you to Haiti. Who else
you
can be
come?
there?
Come
Who else
on.
can be there? I mean, not that you're not
Who
enough,
else
but
can be
yeah,
there?
like
What, do we have to make it a party?
let's put together a whole. Let's get Eddie and Jennifer, and let's see what we can get going over
Jennifer
there.
wants to go down.
She does.
Yeah. Why don't you come down? We'll all do.
She's got a magnificent ass. I'll look at that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, have fun there. There's great. I mean, the music, the night nightlife is.
Can you imagine me in Haiti?
Energy there.
Robin, think of the photo op.
Oh boy,
I would be the hero of the Haitian people.
Look at him.
Imagine the Great White Hope. Howard Stern comes down to
tall,
Haiti.
gawky guy?
I'll dress like Tarzan.
Howard,
Right, yes.
honestly, do you know what it would if you went down there? Do you know what a media
game changer?
It would be.
It would actually be good for Howard.
I am so afraid. I would love to do that.
Do a series of live shows from down there.
How about we do
live
this?
from Haiti.
We fly to upstate New York and make it look like Haiti. And then we get a photo op going.
We'll just go to Harlem.
It would be very good. Now, it seems to me you're getting more and more muscular.
Really?
Yeah. Now, what are you bench pressing these days?
I don't bench.
I'm benching 95.
I don't. 95?
95, but 8 reps. I mean, I don't want to brag. Yeah. No, you are working out heavily.
No, I'm not. Why?
Yes, you are.
Who said that?
No, I can see. I see you're working out.
No, I exercise, but I think as you get older, you want to try to.
Are you running?
Together. I stopped running because of my knees and my ankles. Not good.
I'm having a foot problem. My foot hurts all the time from running.
You run? You run?
Yes.
See, that's great that you can still run.
Yeah, I still run, but it's very difficult. It's getting harder and harder.
I loved running, and I just my lower back. It just became too much. So then I started.
With that machine, that elliptical machine?
I try to do I don't like the elliptical because you don't go anywhere.
Spinning?
You
feel like you're floating in space and you're not going anywhere.
Are you spinning? What are you doing?
My wife started doing P90X.
Oh, really?
What is that?
At home?
Yeah.
With that guy?
Tony Horton.
What is P90X?
Oh, it's one of those TV things. You've never seen P90X?
It is awesome. Awesome.
You can't even do it.
She started doing it, and then I just sort of piggybacked.
But you have to be careful because if you get too muscular, you turn into Joe Piscopo, right?
Oh, God, I think you're not funny.
That's right. It's very, very
You
good.
got to stay off the roids, is what you're saying.
So what you're doing is a realistic exercise.
I'm just because I couldn't run anymore, and then just moving, moving your body around.
But you're very thin. You're muscular and ripped. What are you eating? Are you not eating anything?
I go through different phases where sometimes I'll eat. I love to eat. I love to eat food. Yeah, I love to eat food.
Well, that's good. Food
but sometimes,
is good to eat.
But sometimes, depending on whatever, what movie I'm doing or whatever, if I don't,
I mean, I eat till it's painful. Last night I went out.
But
to
you're naturally
No, I have a big boy. I'm telling you, you know Italian.
But don't you know?
Yes.
As you get older, it's just like your body. If you don't keep
you have
your
to
body
do
moving,
something.
it just sort of starts
falls apart.
Degenerate.
Yeah. I could get you running again, though.
I would love to go running. Would you go running in Central Park?
Sure, I would go every day. Yeah, I'm always there. I hang out there. People love me.
I would love to keep running. It's like afterwards.
I can get you to do it.
That's what you should do, Howard. You got to hate it. You'll run.
Oh, I'll run all right.
But I
have fear of the planet. You don't understand. I can't go anywhere.
He's,
I'm afraid.
Well, I think
one of those people.
Right. Robin goes everywhere.
Do you ever go on vacations?
I told you, resorts, and even that I do under protest.
Right. Last year, was it last year or the year before you tried to go away and he lasted 4 days?
Yeah, that was it. There were ants.
Where'd you
go? It was horrible. It was horrible. We went to this, what is that called?
Anguilla?
No.
What?
Parakeet.
I don't know.
What a nightmare that place is. They put me in a house with ants, and they're spraying to get rid of the ants. I think I've got cancer from that trip.
Like fire ants?
Ants all over the place. Ants all over me. Every time I lay down.
Are you phobic with like bugs?
This wasn't one or two ants. I laid down. There were ants everywhere, all over me.
I remember once I was in the Dominican Republic when I was like 10 years old. My parents took us there for a vacation. I woke up and there's a giant water bug on my lip.
Yeah, you want that?
But you didn't
I can
leave.
get that in New York.
Yeah. That sounds awful.
But you didn't leave. He left the aisle.
Maybe if I could have, if I had been of my own volition, I would have.
Can't believe you're living with your parents in the same building.
No, I don't live with them.
I mean, you're successful enough. You can move out of that building.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, man, that's unbelievable. Well, I'm happy you're a New Yorker and all that. Now, okay, let me promote the movie here.
Okay.
See Ben Stiller in Tower Heist, opening this Friday in theaters everywhere. This is where Eddie Murphy and Ben team up. I see your picture on every taxi cab in New York.
I know, it's a little too much.
Are you nervous about the box office on this? Because everyone's expecting big things.
Everybody expects big things.
There's always expectation, and you just sort of have to ride through it because at this point, there's nothing, nothing we can do about it.
You don't worry about that anymore.
You like the movie, though.
I'm aware of it, but what can you do? It's like you can't control things that you can't control.
Will you read the reviews?
I never.
You never read the reviews?
Stopped reading reviews like about 10 or 11 years ago.
Because it upsets you?
I don't get anything out of it. And you always hear about the good ones. You kind of always hear about the bad ones too. You just kind of get it, but I just don't need to get the
Because it matters too much to you and it bums you out is the reason why.
I just don't want. For me, it just doesn't help my process.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again,
some
you
people.
can't do
I know
anything.
people. I know people. Yeah, you can't do anything about it. You know, and if you believe the good ones, you got to believe the bad ones too.
That's
I know
right.
people that really enjoy reading them and get something out of it, and I think that's great. They can do it.
I would read them neurotically. Even fans who send an
You
email.
read stuff that people write about you.
I do, and it's horrible. I hate it.
And when
And
people write stories about you and stuff?
I want to see great things about me, and then when I see the one bad thing, I get very, very upset.
And with the internet
Yeah.
now, you just everybody's a critic.
Well, yeah, it's
Everybody
awful.
in their basement.
So you have said you will never renew your vows with your wife.
Why?
Because that's the sure sign that a marriage is going to end.
Did I say that?
Yes, you've said that.
No.
Yeah, you said that.
When
you
did
will
you
never
say
renew
that?
your. Why are you thinking of renewing your vows?
You just agreed to do that.
I could see us renewing our vows.
Yeah, I said to my wife, I would renew my vows with you. I think that would be
Well,
really
you
fun.
actually
I feel
sort of said you were going to do it for your first year anniversary.
I
You never
was.
did.
I said that was a fun party, our wedding.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. Let's renew our vows and get married again.
Yeah,
She was
there's
like,
nothing.
she goes, what are you kidding?
I feel like now I'm ready to actually do it, you know? Like, I feel like now that we've been married for 11 years or whatever it is, like now I understand what our relationship is. And
right.
It actually, I
You're
think we
ready
could
to
do it better.
recommit.
Yeah.
Really?
It's so funny because I found, folded up on a piece of paper the other day, our wedding vows in like a backpack. In like one of my backpacks.
What was it doing in there?
I don't know. Somehow it had, over 11 years, it just, I'd kept it in a backpack.
This is the thing that you read at the wedding.
Yeah.
And did when you read it, did it seem ridiculous to you?
Well,
Was
it just seemed like very far away, and you know, because it was you know, any marriage is, you go through so much, right? So
tell the guys, what is the worst part about being married, and what is the best part about being married?
Oh gosh. Well, the best part, I think the best part is that you have somebody who you like your best friend with you all the time,
right?
Who you can count on, and
I agree with that.
Love, right?
Go ahead. Worst part.
Worst part.
She picks her ass.
No, I don't know. You know, the worst part is that I don't know if there's a worst
You
part.
have
I
your
feel
best friend who's there all the time.
Yeah, right. I mean, like
I say the worst part is you can't fuck your other best friends. No, but is that is it difficult for a guy in your position? Here we go. Well, it's true. You're very famous now.
What happened to promoting the movie?
Well, I thought we talked a lot about that. All right, listen.
Well, one thing I want to ask, because Eddie's now going to host the Academy Awards.
Yes, yeah.
And you always do these great spots
Yeah.
on the award shows. Are you going to be a part of this whole deal?
I don't know. Yet.
I think Eddie's
I don't
going
know
to
yet,
grab
but
him for
He's
it.
got
I have to
to.
say though, like I think Eddie's going to be so great doing that gig. Yeah, because it's a stand-up comedian's job.
But will he put the effort into it?
I'm sure he will.
Because I think he could be great at it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Sometimes he kind of like he goes on Letterman. He's going, you know, he's relaxing.
I thought he was great on Leno last night.
I didn't see that.
He was
one.
awesome on Leno. I think he's a smart guy, and I think he's good. He's so well suited for that job.
You would never host the Academy Awards?
No.
Why?
Because I think it's a stand-up comedian's job. I think
Right,
it's
and that's
somebody-
not your comfort zone.
I think that's what you need to really, and you have to be able to sort of think on your feet and come up with whatever it is in the moment. That sort of.
That's what I
thinking,
didn't
to me,
finish telling you.
yeah.
You're smart that way. You're not trying to do the things that you're bad at. You know what your comfort level is, and you know what you're good at.
Yeah, I don't think you should try. I mean, doing stand-up comedy is probably one of the hardest things you can do.
I've done it a few times early in my career, and I found it to be not where I was most comfortable. I don't like seeing the audience. And I just said, why should I concentrate on that? Why is that? Maybe I'll go be a great football player too.
And it takes years to get good at.
That's right. And it seems to me everyone who's in it wants to get the fuck out of it. You know, so how great a career could it be?
Well, even Eddie has said, like, if you stop doing it, it takes at least a year to get back up to speed, just getting in front of people. All those guys, you know, every time you see somebody do a stand-up special where they go for an hour, they've been spending 6 months, a year just getting to that point.
When I heard him say the last time he did stand-up he was 27 years old.
Yeah, it was 20
so
years ago.
He just hasn't done it in so long, but he had such an impact that you still think he's doing it in a weird way. All right, listen, the movie is called Tower Heist.
Yeah.
Ben is somehow involved with Eddie Murphy. They're going to make a heist on a tower.
Well, it's like a Bernie Madoff kind of thing.
Yeah, I play a building manager of like a Trump-type tower. And I'm a building manager, so I got all these employees who work for me, and I've invested our pension fund with this guy that Alan Alda plays, and then he gets arrested for this Ponzi scheme thing, and so we've been screwed out of our money, and I've got to we decide we're going to try to get the money back
from him.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Look, go see the movie. According to IMDb, Ben was paid $15 million for this movie.
So he did take a cut.
He took a cut. So this is a guy who loves this movie. He did it out of the goodness of his heart. He cut $5 million out of his price. So that's very, by the way, congratulations to you. You know, you are a New York kind of guy. You're not Hollywood at all, and that's why I like you. Ben is
Howard,
taking
you getting scale for this, Howard?
Yes. I love it. No, I'm the first one to admit I don't love this. So anyway, you are here now. You're a New Yorker.
Yes, very happy to be here in New York.
And maybe one day I'll see you, but
Yeah.
I doubt it. All right, doesn't seem to be in the cards. And but
we're around if you ever want to hook up.
Thank you, and good luck with the movie.
Thank you very much.
Ben, may I talk to you for a sec?
Painless, yes.
That was painless.
Robin saved me because he started to go into sex stuff, and then Robin saved me.
When Howard spoke about Eddie, there's such like a respect and an admiration in his voice.
Yeah.
You rarely hear him talk about his like contemporaries that way.
Yeah.
Will any of that get back to Eddie? Like, does he by any chance listen to the show, or does he know?
I don't know. I don't know if he listens to the show, but I mean,
it's very rare to hear Howard rave, on and on about.
Well, I mean, but that's who Eddie is. You know, Eddie has that respect, not only among fans, but I think among people in the business, especially.
Now you've written,
yeah.
Now you've written and acted in and directed so many comedic projects. Could you ever see Howard being involved in something like that? His return to acting.
I liked Private Parts, and I would enjoy seeing him on film.
Yeah, he did a good job playing himself, but do you think he could take on a new character? Does he have the chops for that?
I think he could. I think he'd be, like a fun, small
cameo type of role.
I would give him a shot if he wanted to work with me.
I'd like to see that.
I don't know if we do like a buddy comedy again,
right.
but maybe something. Start small, see how it goes.
Cool. Now you said that the personal relationship between you and Howard is in his court. You put the ball back in his court.
Yes, I did. I wrote the last email.
And how long ago was that?
It was like 5 months ago.
And he's yet to reply.
What?
And he's yet to reply?
I stopped expecting a reply after a month or so, but I also didn't want to push it,
right?
Because I feel I knew we'd see each other on the show eventually, and I also understand what he's talking about, which is you don't have that pressure to have to be like, oh, this is my new friend and all that.
To be on, or
but
whatever.
That will connect.
Yeah, because he claims that he wants to be you and he wants to have this exciting life, but at the end of the day, I think the guy just wants to sit in his apartment.
He just wants to chill out in his apartment, and he's earned that. Too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Ben. Well, thanks for stopping by.
All right, guys.
Good luck with Tower Heist.
All right, thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate. On Monday's wrap-up show, we talked about how Colin Quinn and David Arquette were in earlier that day. We also talked about why Howard loves David so much. And then we talked about the counting of the dead, how Howard and his mother talk about all the people who died. And then I sort of talked about my obsession with death, and I predicted how I would die. Here's what happened.
Let's talk about the great Colin Quinn. We're all fans of Colin's, and
he's a very funny guy.
He is, but he always seems to be on the verge of doing something big, yet he doesn't. I mean, he's done a bunch of big stuff, but he's just like, that one step away.
It must bum him out that Howard always introduces him that way, but I agree. Like, I don't know why Colin isn't more famous than he is. I mean, people know who he is. He's got a great career, but I think Colin's one of those guys, and I have for years, that think should be like in the next stratosphere. He's that funny.
How does Colin feel about Ronnie's potential TV gig?
He said on his way out that if Ronnie makes it his business, that's it. He's given up. That all the years he spent are for naught if Ronnie could just make it.
And I know he's joking. He'd be happy for Ronnie, but there's definitely some frustration there.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually thought that his funnier joke today that sort of hit the mark when he said that Will Murray was a more sophisticated Ronnie.
Yes, sophisticated anger coming from Will. And when Colin was in there, David was in there at the same time, and I know that's a tricky dynamic to play, but you had Colin pitch his movie to David as a producer.
Who knew it was going to be that great? You figure they come in, so Colin's pitching the movie, and then David reminds him that he made a really shitty comment about him and Courtney, and then it turns into this running joke that's like sort of funny, but maybe isn't, has a basis in reality.
Well, when you came in with the joke, I thought that kind of hammered the point home. I mean, yeah, that's one of those things where I know David was laughing, but something tells me that comment stuck with him for a while.
I understand.
Yeah, so he's trying to get this movie made, I guess, and again, friend of the show, David, friend of the show. When Howard went to break, there was a great conversation happening between the two of them.
Yeah, it was really good because Colin was saying he needed $5 million, and David was trying to be really serious. He goes, $2 million. $2 million's really like in this economic climate, it's a $2 million movie. And Colin's going, it's a $5 million movie. It's it's got terrorists and girls on spring break. It's a $5 million movie. And I think David was being very serious about $2 million is probably more the budget you should be looking for.
He definitely was being serious. And then Colin headed out, and David stuck around. And Howard asked an innocent question: "Are you in love again?" And David, always honest, said, "Yeah, I am," and that went down a whole other road.
And David knew too that he knew the second he said it that it's going to make news. It's going to be all over the tabloids that David's in love. And he said that he told Courtney and they cried. Is that what he said?
They cried over it.
Yeah, that's. Did she tell him that she loved anybody?
I'm not sure about that. But then Howard said when he fell in love with Beth, he came right out with it, and Robin was like, "I don't remember it that way exactly."
I don't remember it at all. I don't remember how it went at all.
Yeah, I don't remember when. I mean, if we knew, I'm in a different category than Gary. I bet you knew about it earlier than I did, but you said you went out with him before, right?
No. I probably like Ross and all those guys knew about it before I did. I was like, in Connecticut, unaware of Howard's, gallivanting, so to speak. But I don't remember when I knew that he was serious with someone.
Yeah, because he says that they were pretty much from the night they met. I don't think they were really apart, were they?
He said that. I don't know. I don't know what went down there, but I thought Robin challenging him on it was pretty interesting. Rick in Ohio, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, I just wanted to ask what your guys' thoughts were on David Arquette and Howard's relationship. Why do you think Howard kind of in love with Dave in a way? Like he's always on the show, he's always talking to him. I guess I just missed where that relationship began, and it just seems like we talk about him a lot. I know he's on Dancing with the Stars and stuff, but just want to see why you guys think Howard likes him so much.
I think the reason Howard likes him so much is because you ask David a question and he gives you an honest answer. And, he's sort of in the Hollywood crowd. He hangs around with, he hangs around with Courtney Cox. He hangs around with Jennifer Aniston, and he hangs around with this one and that one. He tells funny stories about it, and I think that's what Howard likes about him.
I mean, he volunteered to intern for the show, but I think anytime Howard finds a celebrity guest who's brutally honest and, lets the chip fall wherever they may, that's always going to be a good guest. Brian, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, I just wanted to call in. Colin is a very great guy. I had the opportunity to do a reading of that screenplay he was talking about for a backers audition. It's really a great screenplay, and I actually met Jerry Seinfeld that day too, so that was pretty amazing. But yeah, he's really a sweet guy, very very talented, very down to earth, and he's surprised. I mean, you're surprised by his tough guy image, but he's a wonderful writer, very very astute, very smart.
Did he ask you for any money?
Yes, he did. That's smart-ass Benjy.
Yeah.
And no, he didn't ask me for any money. But Jerry was there, and I think Jerry's probably going to come up with couple of million. Who knows? Hopefully.
Well, he said he already has a couple million or a million, somewhere in that range. He said he needs more.
He needs another 4.
But he didn't say
I
it came from Jerry.
I don't know that Jerry came up with it, but yeah. Who knows?
Well, where do you think Colin got $1 million from?
Well, Jerry produced his Broadway thing,
which is very funny, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it in Philly. It was really cool. Yep, very good.
All right, thanks,
Very
man.
good, guys. Thank you. Take care. Great show.
Thanks, man.
All right, let's go over to Sean in Seattle. Sean, you're on the wrap-up show.
How's it going, guys?
Good, how are you?
Caller. It's awesome to talk to you guys. Anyways, I think it's hilarious that a perfect example of Colin Quinn's status in Hollywood is the fact that when he did the Grown Ups movie with Adam Sandler, I believe, bought a Maserati for, like, Chris Rock and David Spade and a couple other guys and didn't buy shit for Colin Quinn.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I'm glad you brought this up because I think that's a funnier story to tell than the reality of it. I actually watched the movie for the first time about 6 or 8 months ago because I thought the same thing. Have you seen the movie? Is the caller still on? Have you seen the movie, John?
Yes.
Okay. So if you see the movie, it's these 5 friends who were friends from when they were little kids who played basketball together go away for this weekend retreat. So it's, Sandler, Chris Rock, Schneider, Spade, and I forget who the other one is.
Adam Sandler.
Right, Adam Sandler. So Colin plays a supporting player in the movie. He's not one of the main 5. So if you see the movie, it's sort of, because at that point he would have had to buy a car for Steve Buscemi as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Colin's the head of the other gang, the rival gang, and he's in the movie probably 30% of the time that the rest of them are in the movie.
I wonder for a while, I don't know if we went down this road with him, if he's like, he hears about this, and every day he's like kind of looking out his window, and if he's like, should I call Sandler? Maybe Sandler bought it for me, but it hasn't got to me.
Well, he joked around today and said, Spade got one, but he doesn't need one. And, but he never got one. But you're right, Gary. He wasn't one of the main guys in the movie.
I thought it's sort of unfair to paint it that way because it seems like those guys were literally living together for the whole time they made the movie, and Colin probably came in and shot a lot less.
What did you think about Colin's tweets? Because they were taken seriously.
I think again, sarcasm and humor is hard to read in tweets and emails and others. I've sent some emails that I've gotten back some really crazy responses, and I'll be like, well, that was sarcasm. It doesn't come across in a letter.
Yeah. There needs to be like because I use smiley face, but I feel very effeminate when I do it. Yeah. So there needs to be like a masculine way of doing a smiley face.
I know, even like I got to, like sometimes I write a joke and I used to write LOL, and that seems very gay.
Ian in Boston, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, hi, Gary.
Yes.
I just wanted to tell you, we're talking about Colin, and he was saying about, how he's not as big as a star what he should be. I think you're right, because I remember when he was on the early MTV days, he was funny as hell, and I don't know why he's not a big star. And he doesn't get his dues, but he's fucking funny. He's funny as hell, and I also think that David, he's great on your show. You have a good rapport with him too. I think you all get along with him,
Yeah, no, he's a good guy.
He is a great guy. And also, Gary, I just get back to listen to you guys, I'm just really proud of what you guys have done to this show. You've done a really good job.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate the call.
Everybody who was in today, too, had some kind of special rapport, I thought, with Howard. Brett Ratner, they bonded over, the privacy, and then that went. China, Howard, she loves Howard, worships him. And then Colin and David both get along really well.
Well, again, Colin did something really nice for the show, just out of the goodness of his heart. And when Robin threw a 50th birthday party for Howard, Colin came. It was a party for like maybe 50 people, and Colin roasted everybody in the room and just killed it, which was really hard to do because it wasn't like a comedy setup. But, I thought it was very nice of him to do as a friend of the show, and I thought he was very funny.
In the beginning of the show today, I didn't talk about this. Howard spoke of the conversation he had with his mother about, the counting of the dead, I think they call it. And do you think Howard dreads that conversation?
Oh, my God, yeah. I went through that with my father, and I go through that with some of my other relatives. It's awful. My father used to go down to Little Italy, where he grew up. He used to go down like every third or fourth Friday night. He used to call it the neighborhood. He would go down there and hang out with his friends. And I'd say to my mother, "Where's Dad?" "Oh, he's down in the neighborhood, whatever." And when I got into college, I said to my dad, I go, "Dad, how come you don't come down to the neighborhood anymore?" He goes, "Everybody's dead." It's so sad.
Yeah. Hey, Gary, you always strike me as someone that you don't really care that much about your personal death. I'm sure you don't want to die, but is it something that doesn't depress you very much?
I'm more one of those people who's in denial. I know it's going to happen, but I put it in my way so far off that I'm not really thinking about it. But I tell you, I drive in every morning. I have this fear that I'm going to die in a car accident.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
When did that start?
When I got into this really bad car accident, totaled my car like 8-9 years ago. I just think that when I drive in the morning when there's not a lot of people on the road, but there's a lot more nuts and speeders on the road.
Yeah.
And so, in some ways, you're probably safer going home in traffic. You know what I mean? Doing 30 miles.
You're not flying. Yeah.
You're not flying. So, but it is one of those. Every morning I get in, I go, "Is this the day?" And I think about how my family's going to react and everything.
I thought you were worried about the phlegm in your throat. That's what you used to tell us.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to kill me.
You're choked to death by it?
Well, that's I obviously I worry about a lot of stuff in my ride.
Do you obsess over it?
Yeah,
at all?
yeah. All the time. I mean, not there'll be periods where I get it out of my head and just forget about it. But when I get stuck on it, it's like I can be like depressed for months.
And by the way, John, I give you the permission to play that clip if I die in a car accident. Because then it'll be a really good clip to play.
Oh, okay. In memoriam?
Exactly.
All right.
So on Tuesday's show, the guys wanted me to come down to the wrap-up show, a show which I don't like anymore, and I'm not going to go on. But after 15, 20 minutes of them talking about me, I went down there to set the record straight about the whole phone gate and whether or not I was spying on Howard.
Welcome to the wrap-up show. I'm John Hine, joined as always by Gary Dell'Abate.
Hello, hello.
And apparently no Scott DePace, who I asked to come down here and said that he will not come down, Gary, as long as you're in the room. I thought that was a Jason rule, but apparently that extends to you now.
I don't know why he's acting like such a child. First of all, I'm not the beginning of this, and I'm not perpetuating it in any way. In other words, my job is to investigate. I simply went and asked Steve Brandano the validity of the story. He confirmed it with me, and I brought it in. But Scott thinks it's a plot against him because the TV guys came to me and they go, "How do you answer the charges that you guys are ganging up on Scott?" I go, "Ganging up on Scott?" I go, "An allegation was made. We investigated it. 7 people said it's true. Scott said it's not. That's ganging up? What a fucking child."
All right, Scott, listen, it's just me and Gary here. You'll get to speak your mind. No one's ganging up on you. I invite you to come down and state your case because I think you have a couple compelling things to say.
I also think
that people are unaware of.
I also think that he's sort of admitted it to some degree. Here's what I think. I think it happened a couple of times. I think it's not that big a deal. He's making it a bigger deal than it is. And I think if he would have just said, "Yeah, Howard, a couple of times I did that because it pisses me off. I won't do it anymore," we'd be done.
Look, he's not the only one who's looking at that call screen, and we should get into that.
Oh, is that true?
Yes, but I need Scott here to have that conversation. So, Scott, be a man, come down and talk to us.
Yeah, Scott, throw all the other people under the bus and look at the screen. That's what you do well. Well, he came to me, and the first thing he said was, "This is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Do you know that Brian Phelan does the same thing?" And I was like, "Dude, this is about you. Why are you always lashing out at other people, saying it's other people's faults? Just let's talk about you for now."
Look, Scott, if you don't come down, we're just going to speculate, and that's pointless. So please come down here. There, that ends my plea. Al in the Bronx, you're on the wrap-up show.
What does it do with Scott? Why is he being such a fucking pussy? Calm down. What, he's not intellectual enough to handle the conversation? He can't handle Jason? He can't handle Baba Booey? What the fuck?
I've talked with Scott about this a little bit. He feels when he comes in here, it's 5 against 1. He's ganged up on. I try to reassure him that he isn't, but I can't force him to come on. So instead, we're going to talk without him being here. But he's more than welcome to speak his mind.
In this case, I really don't understand why he thinks I have to not be here. You know, I would understand if I don't understand why anybody shouldn't be here. Brandano's the one who verifies the story. Should he not be here?
In Scott's world, maybe. I mean,
who should be here? Only people that suck his dick?
I'm just saying for the guy.
Well, there's
for the
Will.
guy
He's
who-
coming down.
For the guy who has a high, for a guy who has a high IQ, you would think he can handle intellectual conversation. You know, you think he'd be able to defend himself. You know, it's not 5 against 1. You guys let him talk.
Well, Will Murray, you've been accused of being on Team DePace. Why don't you
Fuck
think
you, John Hine.
Why don't you think he'll come down?
I don't know. I can't even hear myself. We were arguing back there because he's just refusing to come down. He's like, "Oh, you're one of those liars." And I said, the only thing I said to Gary was that he has complained about callers calling about him. Not that he's asked us to put them down lower in the priority list or anything above that. Just that he's whined about guys like Vince calling in and saying he hates Scott DePace.
Right.
Well, what does he say when he whines about it? What does he say?
He goes, "Oh, I see Vince is up there again. That idiot calling about me."
So he tells you that while you're sitting there, so which means he's zooming in on it to tell you that.
Well, he has to. He's clearly looking at the screen. Right. Yeah. But that's all I said. I didn't say that he was ordering us around or anything beyond that.
Now, Steve Brandano, has he ever asked you to lower the priority of a phone call or take it down?
Wait, Steve, before you answer that question, just so everyone understands what we're talking about here, Howard's got a screen in front of him. It has all the callers listed in a priority order, and it says, like, Will wants to talk about Darrell Hammond or something like
Howard
that.
sees 12 callers, and I think there's 24 actually up on the screen.
So if you put it down to 13, you're basically taking it out of Howard's view.
Exactly.
And then he's been accused of using that robotic camera to see who the callers are and make whatever judgment he makes. Go ahead, Steve.
I may have misspoke on the one fact that he would tell you to lower that call. He would probably just say, that's a bad call. Why are you putting up a call like that?
Yeah.
But not move it down in the priority. I misspoke when I said that. Which doesn't change anything.
Did you misspeak, or were you battered into saying you misspoke?
Heat of the moment, everybody's yelling, and then
because I don't think I was yelling at you. I asked you pretty flat out.
No, not you.
No, but I asked you the question, and you said 10 or 15 times.
Oh, yeah, no. Has he commented on call? I stick by that. Yeah, I'm just saying the fact that I said that Scott would say, lower the priority. He hasn't said that, but he has certainly commented on the callers talking about him.
So let me ask you
10 to 15 times since we've been here.
I want to ask Steve and Will a question since you guys screen the calls. Does him commenting on that in any way affect you when you're putting up a call? Be honest.
No.
I don't care what he says.
No, it makes me raise the priority, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a lot of people around here that...
Well, who else? I'm unaware of this.
There are just people that say, listen, something happened, and I don't want that up on the air, so if somebody calls in about it, please don't put it up.
But is there somebody that looks at the board, or what we call it the board, looks at the screen on a regular basis and goes, like, why do you have to put that guy up?
No, the funny thing that most people do is they'll go on the air, and then they'll come back immediately to look at the notes that we've written to throw them under the bus for the last 20 minutes, just to see what people are saying about them behind the.
I think almost everybody does that.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever done that. I think I've done it like maybe. Well, I've done it like once or twice, but it's not like an obsession.
And it's funny if you see it's completely blank, that means some really bad shit was put up about you.
Oh, see, that's good to know. I didn't even know that.
Talent message cleared.
If you
clear,
ever walk
clear,
back
clear,
there and
clear.
it says talent message cleared on there, forget it. You do not want to know what was there.
You know what? I'm actually not interested in talking. Hold on, I'm not interested in talking to you now because now that you got your little baby.
Wait, Scott, come here. Scott, come here. Get on the mic. Get on the mic. Get on the mic.
places to
Get
go.
on the mic. All right, I know you're a
Me
busy
too.
man.
Off mic.
I know you're.
Gary, I only said that jerk off because good. Oh, Gary's not going to talk. Perfect.
Gary, you should
Perfect.
chime in whenever you want. All right.
No.
If there was nothing going on here, why were you throwing such a fit about it?
Because I don't like people lying about me.
What was the lie?
The lie, straight out of Brandano's mouth, that now he's saying he misspoke, was that
about one thing.
And Will is even making a bigger issue. Everyone is. Complaining is simply just having a conversation. I would see it every once in a while and say something like, oh, I see Vince is on the phone. That was it. It wasn't like,
so you're joking
take
around.
him down, or I'm never talking to you again.
So why would you bring it up?
It's nothing like that.
Why do you bring it up at all then?
It's just sort of funny. It's a conversation.
But you have no. In other words, when you bring it up, you have no intention of saying I disapprove of this.
No, and even if I did, you do. Gary, I'm pretty smart. Do you think...
I don't think you're that smart.
Yeah, I think I'm smarter than you are.
By a point.
Do you think that I would think that by me saying that, somehow he would go, oh, you know what, Scott's my friend, let me take it down. No, that's not what I'm doing.
Then why bring it up at all?
It's like walking by and saying, hey, Will, nice shirt, you homo, or whatever. It's the same shit. It's just conversation.
Scott, let's take a step back here. Why are you looking at the screen in the first place?
Right.
There are many reasons. One, I said, was to... When a caller is calling in, I want to put his picture up. It takes me about 15 seconds to make that happen. So I need some warning. That's one reason. Other times,
15 seconds late.
Other time, yeah. And then the editor has to go back and fix it, and it takes like an extra hour of the day, right? So it makes sense if I would just know about it. Then there are other times that we would put up a message to Howard, maybe to promote a show. We'll want to see if they actually put it up.
Well, see, that's
so
weird
we'll take
because
a look.
you have to sort of trust that they put it up.
There's been many times that they haven't, and then they yell back, "Come on, I'm busy." Whatever it is.
That means, but that's their call to make.
Understand, but we got to at least know that they did it. So maybe if they didn't do it, then we could do it again later. Or maybe there's a note that, hey, we've got a picture ready. and I got to know whether they took the note down because if Howard hadn't gotten to it, I still need to be ready for a certain picture to put in it. It's called communication, and this is fucking ridiculous. Looking at the damn monitor is the same thing I could do by being right in front of Will and looking at the monitor. It's not like this is top secret.
I would tell you, don't come in and look at the monitor. You have no reason to come in.
But I just explained to you 3 reasons why I do.
Scott, actually, you gave 2, but listen.
No, I gave 3, jerk off.
What were the
you
3?
want me to count them?
Yeah.
One was a picture in the monitor for Howard, a full screen, to know whether the thing is down. Another is for promoting Howard TV. Another one is for putting a picture up for line cut for a phone caller. That's 3 different reasons.
All right, I remember you saying line cut, but more importantly, did you ever...
Well, understand television, you'll understand it.
Did you ever look at the screen?
I thought you were the king of television.
Did you ever look at the screen to see if someone was talking about you or after being in the studio what they had to say? And be honest.
I will, and I've been nothing but honest. That's the point, that all you fuckers are lying. That's the point.
But okay, then
what
answer the question.
I have done
It's a yes or no. It's a yes or no question.
Hey, John, if you don't let me talk, I'm just going to leave.
You can talk. It's a yes.
Okay.
Give me yes or no, and then explain.
No, I'm not going to give you yes or no.
Well, why won't you answer the question?
Because I'm going to explain.
Okay, go ahead.
So, what I possibly have done, I don't even know for sure, but when I've had political talks on the air or whatever, I was one time maybe curious to see what people were calling about, and I would look at it, and that's it. But there's many other reasons. John Lieberman tried to make this like Scott's been spying on the. That's not what it is. It's a normal occurrence, just like looking at anything in the studio.
And you mentioned that Phelan has used the camera, though.
Of course, Phelan has, Doug has. We all do for the same fucking reasons. What's the big deal? It's not like Howard. It's only for Howard. There's a monitor there. There's 2 identical monitors. One at Will's office that everyone walks by. Shuley earlier said, Scott, just so you know, Vince is on the phone or whatever. How did he know that? He saw it. I guess he can't go in there either now, can he?
I'm not saying that you're the only one who does this.
Well, this is all for
You're
nothing.
the only one kicking and screaming about this.
It's this jerk-off Jason trying to make something out of nothing.
I didn't do the story.
And,
first of all,
John Lieberman did. And
first of all,
you
are the king.
Know nothing about it.
You are the king of making something out of nothing, because according to you, this is a nothing story that you have now turned into a 3-hour argument.
I haven't turned into anything. I'm ready to go home.
I'll tell you this, Scott. I will tell you this. I've never seen you or anyone involved in the show throw a temper tantrum like the one when you started banging on the table. It was like I was like,
because that's the only way you get through to Howard. He won't shut up.
That's it. How to get through to Howard and how to get through your dog. Just hit people.
Hey, you got any Wellbutrin on you, Jason? Why don't you take some pills, buddy? You seem extra happy today.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. To anyone listening, I am the messed up one.
Yeah, you are. Of course.
Why was Howard getting under your skin so much?
Yeah, it just seems that this whole thing's getting under your skin. So more than
clearly,
more than it should.
I was trying to get a point out, and I couldn't. They kept yapping over me, just like they do to you all the time.
Why do you feel so ganged up on?
Gary, look around. What the fuck?
But this isn't politics or anything. The whole rap that you were ganged up on, in other words, there was a story.
I didn't say ganged up on. Well, I didn't say it about this.
That's not what your cameraman said. Your cameraman, Greg Carmel, said that you felt very bullied.
I'm not Greg Carmel.
Well, he said that you said that.
He's got hair.
Well, that's him talking. I don't.
Well, so is he lying?
Oh,
do you not feel bullied?
He got small teeth.
Do you not feel bullied?
Scott's threatened to beat me up.
I don't feel bullied.
So how do you answer the Fred allegation that you are the bully?
I think that's ridiculous. I was walking by to get ready for the next segment. How do you talk to someone when they're 50 feet away? You yell. That was all I did.
Why'd you yell into the microphone right now?
Because you're an asshole. I don't know.
Yeah, because you're a bully.
He's intimidating us right now.
Yeah, you're very intimidating.
I just.
So you with that beard, Benjy.
It just seems that you're getting more upset about it. It seems like a sort of a nothing. Well, it does seem like it seems like a nothing story. It seems very benign. It seems like you would sort of let it roll off your back.
Liars,
but I'm not in on this.
Well,
I'm not. I went to the.
You came in and said they've done it 10 to 15 times.
Because I have.
This is not
hold
true.
on, Scott. If it wasn't you and it's somebody else, right? And this is going on. It's my job to go and ask people whether it's true or not. And if somebody gives me somebody gives me an answer.
Shush me.
Somebody gives me an answer, and I bring it in. You seem to be above it all. That's what it's all about.
Shouldn't your employees tell you accurate information?
Okay, they didn't. And I found that out for the first time before.
You're going to tell them next time, give me accurate information?
No, you still inaccurate information. I'm going to go back to the...
wrong.
I'm going back to the...
Again, I never told you to take someone down.
Scott, to you,
that's what this whole thing's about.
To you, I apologize for the statement of saying that you've asked us to lower the priority. Which
that's the whole controversy.
Oh, no,
it wasn't. That was not even when I didn't even say
Scott,
that to
it's
Gary. I
obvious
said that to the Howard TV guy.
Telepathically
go ahead,
sending
say
that
that.
message.
Gary asked me, has Scott commented on the callers before? And I said yes, probably about 10 to 15
that's not what Gary
times.
said on the air.
And
So then Gary is
No,
the
it is
one
what
that-
I said on the air.
No, you didn't say just commented.
I
You
did-
said you had them take him down.
No, make comments on the callers, and I've said yes. You've been.
Yeah,
like,
I think you're getting.
I've also made comments on a guest before. I've
Yeah,
also
and
made
if-
comments
and
on
if they
about
asked me
you.
that question, I would say
Yeah,
yes.
but a comment on a guest
It's a
doesn't.
comment.
It
And
doesn't
I agree
affect
that
you.
you're joking, too.
Listen. Let's cut through the
This
bullshit.
is not about me. That's
It's
the point.
all about you.
That's the point.
Let's cut through the. Can we cut through the bullshit on some level, whether you can recognize it or not? Those comments you hoped either would get a point across that you're not happy with what's going up on the board.
No, that is just not true at all.
Then you're not being honest,
Scott.
How do you know?
Because
you didn't witness any of it.
I don't need to. If I'm going to
again, Will is my friend. He is a normal person who's on the phone thing. When we happen to look for whatever note and we see Vince out of nowhere, I haven't even been on the show in months. Vince wants to say Scott's a douchebag or whatever. I might make a comment like, "Oh, I see your boyfriend Vince is on." That's it. Is there anything that's not commenting on? Is it? I mean, it's a
That's
conversation.
exactly what's commenting on it. In a negative way. You're saying in a negative way.
But not in a
I don't
negative
like
way.
the call.
No, but the insinuation is that I was saying I don't like the call and take it down, and that's
I
not
got
what
that.
I
I got
ever
that. So
have
throwing
done.
that out the window. When
So
you
why
make,
can't I talk about whatever I want to
you
talk about?
can talk about whatever you want, but you can't admit that what you're saying is you're trying to say, I don't like the negativity. I'm not happy with what's up there. That's the subtext of what you're saying.
That's putting it in a different light than what it is. It's not. I don't like the negativity.
Do you ever go on and say, "Oh, there's a guy on line 10 who says I'm great. Love that call."
I'm sure there's.
No, have you ever said that? Have you
I
ever said
bet.
that?
Yes. Yeah, you have.
Well, isn't that commenting as well?
I don't think you should be looking at it at all. I think all that stuff
Why?
you said is because then this crap happens. I think all that other
this crap happens because it gets painted in a light that I'm doing something that's wrong. And if it was simply I was trying to do my job better.
I don't like the
but
idea
no,
of
fuck it. I'll wait, and then the editors can fix it.
I don't like
care.
the idea of you giving a note for Howard to talk about something and then you making the decision whether Howard has seen it or not. It'll get seen when we feel it needs to be seen. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Hey, Gary, I tell you what. The next time I won't even offer. I won't offer.
Offer what?
If there's a person like yesterday and they're talking about Olivia Munn,
that's
I won't
not
offer.
what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the plugs. When it comes to a plug, if you give it to somebody...
That's not my part of it, by the way. The plug is Doug Goodstein's part.
Oh, okay.
I have nothing to do with that.
All right,
okay.
you brought
I'm
it- no,
tattletaling.
You
on
brought
people again.
you brought it up earlier. You're the one. This is why I need to do this. That's what you said.
That is
So I
one
can
of
only
the
go-
reasons why we do it.
Okay, you said I need to do it. So
I
that was all
happen to have eyes too, so when the monitor is looking at that, I happen to look as well. I'm sorry. Next time I'll divert my eyes.
Okay.
There's a difference between catching it in an accidental glance and deliberately looking at it. You admit that.
Listen, here's the thing. If it's been done, I don't know, 30 times, how many times of those have I been the one saying, Brian, let me see the call screen because I want to see what they're talking about? 3, if that.
Okay.
This is not my issue. This is ridiculous.
So just a handful of times, and that's it.
If that.
But can I ask you a question? It is now 11:34. How come you couldn't articulate that 3 hours
Talk
ago?
to Liebman. I said that to him yesterday.
No, but Howard asked you on the air. You could have said
I couldn't get anything out on the air.
That's it. You should have said, Howard, this isn't my gig. I've done it once or twice. This is really everybody else, but you didn't.
Because I don't even think anything's wrong with it. That was my first thing. Was that it's a monitor there happens to be 2 ends of it. Everyone sees the other monitor, so I don't get it. Let's put blinders on.
So are you going to follow Howard's rule now and no longer?
Absolutely, of course. I don't care. It'll hurt our show a little bit, but that's whatever.
I'm glad you came down.
Thank you.
I don't know why you didn't come down in the first place, but I'm glad you came down.
I don't like this place.
Why?
Because of jerk-off, number one.
Jerk-off number 1 wasn't here.
Because of the rest of the jerk-offs.
Yeah, don't put your finger over here.
The rest of the
Jerk-off number 2.
Fuck you. You're an asshole. I'm not. I didn't start this. or
you start
or,
everything.
I did had nothing to do
Ever
with
since the sleeping thing.
Well, you just don't like
there's
me.
Been
this
tons of
this is
incidents.
nothing,
Gary, because of all the shit that you do.
Scott, stop. I had nothing to do with this story in any way, shape, or form. Get a giant pair of tweezers, pull the giant bug out of your big fucking ass.
You enjoyed it, and you added to it.
You're a fucking baby. You are just a giant
You're the
fucking baby.
Looking over the sleeping
You're a
video. How
fucking
much shit you
child.
gave me for that? You're the baby.
There's a difference between being a fucking turncoat like you. You're an asshole.
Turncoat?
A fucking asshole.
What are we in the military? What are we doing here?
You wouldn't know the military.
Oh, when you would.
You just wish you were in it. I'm a big fucking right-wing Republican. I got a fucking gun.
Oh, boy.
Hey, I had a cousin in Vietnam.
I don't understand why you were pissed. Kidding aside, I don't understand why you were pissed off at Gary with this.
Because he hates me before the day started.
And
He's
that's another reason.
Here's another
The questions,
disingenuous
you know
bullshit
exactly
statement.
why, but no, you're going to try to point a little question so I can say. I think there's been a number of things that have happened on the show ever since the sleeping thing, and it's been directed by Gary, in my opinion. And that's it.
Well, like what? Tell me what? Because this wasn't one of them.
Like the Christmas card thing. Hold on,
what's the Christmas card thing?
Where I gave Howard a Christmas card in the commercial break and walked away, and it became a big fucking issue.
I didn't direct that.
I guarantee you did.
How can you guarantee it?
I just know it. I know.
I'll admit to anything. I'll admit to anything, but that's not one of them. I didn't. That one's not me.
So if Jason,
what else? Hold on, what else? What are the other? Give me the list of things that I've done to fuck you over.
Let's see. Having the not be in the studio at all.
Guilty. You shouldn't be in the studio. As by the way,
but for the 15 years before that, it was fine.
As should a lot of other people not be in
and
there.
notice the one person who actually listened to you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm the only one that's not in that fucking studio. Everyone else is back.
No, there's a lot of people that aren't in the studio anymore.
Yeah.
Again,
Right.
blame. Ooh, let me lash out at other people. I'm the good guy.
No, I'm not. I'm pointing out a fucking point.
I'm the guy. Ooh, let me fuck him. Let me fuck Brian Fan. Ooh.
I think if Jason instigates a story, which he does quite a bit, and Jason will admit to that, Scott's holding you partly responsible.
Oh, totally. Jason and I are like Siamese twins now.
No, because Jason works for you.
So to go back to the origin real quick of who started this story. So what happened was last week they did a story where Scott the Face went to the news and complained about Steve Brandano wasn't telling them quickly enough when certain people were calling in on the phone, and he wanted to put pictures up. And I said to John Lieberman, wow, I'm surprised that he needs Steve to tell him that because he always knows who's on the phone because he has his camera trained on it. Because anytime
not true.
Anytime a call goes up,
you're the asshole.
Anytime
you're
a call,
the big asshole. So Gary, on this one, I owe you an apology.
You should.
Jason, your sidekick is the asshole.
He's not my sidekick. He works at the
asshole.
He's no more my sidekick than you're my sidekick.
Which, by the way, Scott then confirmed that entire story to John Lieberman.
I did not.
John then told that story on the news, and now it's turned into Scott having the story. What that you used the camera
Jason,
to scan the phone lines? No, I'm not. And you said you admitted it 5 times that you used the camera to look at the phone.
You don't see a difference in how you're painting it to actually how
you could paint it any way you want. I sit there. If people knew how often you were on the Squawk Box talking to Will or Steve or me about politics or who's on the phone or what John Hines wearing, they'd be shocked. And one of the things that you say on the Squawk Box all the time is, why is that guy Vince calling in to badmouth me? Oh, Will, that's a really dumb call. Oh, Will, way to spell it. When Steve spells something wrong, oh, right away. And it's not to, hey, you better correct that before Howard sees it.
Wrong.
It's, hey, moron, you spelled something wrong.
When have I done that?
Which is all I've done.
Come on,
You've
Steve.
done it before.
Go ahead, come on, big boy.
I don't know that you. I don't know that you've corrected my.
Okay, good. So he's wrong.
So
again.
all I did was point out that Scott seems to know instantaneously what goes on the phone call screen. That's all I said.
Well,
John did the story.
You're inaccurate. You're inaccurate.
No, I'm not.
And as a
you proved me right a
were
million
you a
times.
journalism guy at school? So you should. Don't you have to check some facts or something like that?
I went to John Lieberman. I told him my version of the story. He then called
your
you.
Story
he then
is
called
really
you.
wrong.
Well, you didn't tell him that yesterday when he called you.
Right.
What's wrong with what I wear?
I commented when you weren't wearing your T-shirts. You were trying to dress it up.
I love when the public is here. There's 2 complete strangers in here just laughing at Scott right now. It's so funny. He look like professional too. They look like people who run a business, and they're just laughing.
But Scott, before we take any phone calls, do you understand that I really had nothing to do with what went on today?
Yeah, I did. Yes.
I mean, I didn't bring
Gary
it to them.
I didn't think you were a major part. I was upset.
I was surprised.
You had told me that the 3 assholes right here.
But they did tell me that.
Well, no.
But no,
then Will came back and said, "No, I didn't say that."
Are they assholes or jerk?
What you said
hold on
the
a second.
air was that I had them pull shit down.
That's not what
and that's not what I ever said.
That's not what he said, Scott. You're making shit up.
That's the insinuation was that. Of course it was.
Go back
it was
and
that
listen.
I'm not happy
Sound
with
defensive.
it, and that you got to pull it down.
I didn't say you got to pull it down. I only know. I just said how many times.
All right.
But again, go and listen. You're just got me on your brain today, and I'm not your enemy today.
John's
not
today.
Hey, on Wednesday's wrap-up show, we talked about my laughter. Whether or not everyone hates it, if it ruined the Chris Martin interview, if I was laughing on purpose to get noticed by Chris Martin. We talked about it from all the angles, and I apologize to all the Coldplay fans out there who thought I might have ruined the interview. I did not laugh during the songs. Thank you.
Knowing Jason, I mean, he's such a fan of Chris Martin and Coldplay. It's got to kill him that people are thinking that he kind of, got in the way of that interview.
Did he? To you?
It was distracting.
Wow.
But it's something that I kind of listen for, I guess. It's almost like Scott's in there and you're waiting for him to screw up somehow. But I felt bad for Jason in a way because so many people were saying, like, why is he laughing so much? And can't we just tune him out? Did you realize that when you were in there?
and it's so weird because I wear headphones when I'm in the studio usually, and I have in the past heard myself on them. And I when I hear that, I'll walk away, try and get further away from Howard's mic, or I'm more conscious of it. But I didn't notice it. That obviously doesn't mean it didn't happen. We got a lot of phone calls and tweets about it. So,
and Jace, I'm not coming down on you at all. And I would be happy to. And you could ask, like Gary said it, a lot of listeners said it. I really have a wonderful laugh, and I could work on you with your laugh. Because you have the passion in it, and I can make it a really good laugh.
I appreciate the offer, and you do have a good laugh, Benjy. My laugh has always gotten noticed, and sometimes it gets a lot like, oh, we love hearing your laugh. It's infectious. Sometimes people hate it, and it cuts right through them. This is the laugh I have, and this is the laugh I'm going to stick with. I like.
Well, I will tell you, I read the Rolling Stone interview with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And Eddie Murphy doesn't do the laugh anymore. He's talking about that. Remember his favorite? Doesn't do the laugh anymore because people started doing his laugh, and he's like, I'm not going to be the guy that does that laugh. So he just stopped laughing like that. How do you do that?
Yeah, it's a good point. I wouldn't know how to change my laugh. I would have to work on it. I would have to sit down with Benjy.
Yeah, but stifle it a little bit, I guess, during those.
Yeah, I have been taking pictures in the studio for 6 years now. I've heard from people again that have said, "Oh, we heard you laugh in that interview. That makes it funny. We heard you laughing and we hate you." I'm in the studio with Howard. If Howard listens back to a tape and says, "Hey, man, keep it down" or whatever, it's annoying. Obviously, I would do whatever he said, but this has never been an issue until today, and it still doesn't seem to be that much of an issue with Howard.
All you need to do is deepen it a little bit and slow it down a little bit, and he has it.
Do you think it's Jace? Do you think it's because it was Chris Martin and you're such a huge Coldplay fan?
Subconsciously, sure. I absolutely did not try to laugh any harder or louder than I normally do. There was absolutely nothing done on purpose. Is it possible? First of all, yes, I was insanely excited that Chris Martin was here, and I was insanely excited to be able to be in the studio when he was performing. But that's it.
All right. Well, I don't know if anybody in the back wants to comment. Feel free to come in and say so. But
sounds like you know something.
Well, a couple people said it to me, and they can speak their own mind.
Go ahead.
No,
I'm not shying away from anything.
No, I said it before. I'm sure you heard.
What? No, I didn't hear. I was walking down the hall.
Oh, okay.
About it.
Well, we just said that your laugh was distracting during the.
Was it? Yeah, I don't know. I have to go back and listen to it.
A laugh in that kind of environment off mic always sounds weird. Like if you listen to the O'Reilly show, to me, like sometimes the producer laughs or something like that. And it's a weird kind of laugh.
An off-mic laugh is always odd.
Mike in Nashville, you're on the wrap-up show.
Yeah, man, I wanted to ask, I know, Gary, you said you didn't hear Jason in the studio, but, Jason, why wouldn't you just say, okay, look, I've got my pictures, I'm getting out of here?
Because on something like that, when we have a big guest in, I'm usually in the entire time because you never know what's going to happen. The other day for the biggest whore contest, when I realized at a certain point that none of these girls were going to get naked, I left. But I stayed there because there was always a possibility of them getting naked. And trust me, there was one part where Howard started talking to them about crossing and uncrossing their legs, and I jumped out of my seat and grabbed the camera. It's a gut call. When we have big guests in, like a Lady Gaga or a Billy Joel, or I'm trying to think of some other people, I never know what's going to happen, and I don't want to miss a moment. I don't want to be that guy that goes, how could you not? When Chris Martin and Howard Stern got up and started dancing with each other, how did you miss that? I don't want to miss it.